Fire Pro Series makes its return to North America for Season 2. We'll be catching a lot of action and a lot of booyahs from some of our favorite teams in North America from Season 1, as well as some of the brand new homegrown talent that's already crushed their way through an open qualifier. To make sure you don't miss any of the action for the group stage, last chance qualifier, and the finals, be sure to tune into the broadcast to watch the action with us. All of this and more on your NA Pro Report. Welcome. My name is Melocrate, here to bring you your weekly coverage of the biggest players and the biggest plays in North American Free Fire. The Free Fire Pro Series Season 2 is already well underway. We've wrapped up our open qualifiers, 192 teams down to just 18. Those 18 teams will be joined by 6 teams that performed at the top of our Season 1 Grand Finals for a 24-team group stage. This season, we're not just playing for $50,000, so that is a nice chunk of cash to be fighting for. This season, we're actually also playing for an invite to the World Series. The Grand Champions of Season 2 will receive the first ever North American invite to the play-ins of the Free Fire World Series taking place in Sentosa, Singapore later this year. So with the stakes turned up all the way to 11, let's take a look at the teams that are returning from Season 1 to try and fight their way through the Free Fire Pro Series Gauntlet once again. Before we do that, quick reminder of the format. We will have a 4-week group stage, 3 game days per week, and the teams will face off across the 4 weeks to try and rack up points based on their performance, not just in placement, but also in kills. The top teams will move directly to the grand finals. The middle of the pack teams will have to play through a last chance qualifier and earn a top 4 placement to make it back into the finals, and the bottom teams will be eliminated. So with that cleared out, let's check out the teams from Season 1 that are making their way back to the Free Fire Pro Series. Starting off with our Season 1 Grand Champions, La Bahia make their return under a brand new banner, and there's a couple of name changes, so try and keep up. La Bahia returns as Pisar Esports, so expect them to come back hungry for a back-to-back title. Wk1 makes their return as Virus Gaming, and they were the top LCQ team from Season 1, clearly showing that they had no business in the LCQ and should have been in the finals in the first place. And for our renames, we've got Northblood as well, who is returning as USA Esports, so showing their USA pride on their way back to the Free Fire Pro Series. Now for the other squads, not as many renames. We've got IT Official, very scary edge team. We've got Fuego, very consistent zone team. And we've got La ONU, who is a very opportunistic team, taking very smart third parties and making their way up the rankings with placements. Not exactly a lot of wins, but definitely some very fun fights. Now, for the other squads that made their way through the open qualifier, these teams actually ran all the way back through the round of 192 to the round of 36 again, like they did in Season 1. ZRJ, Dual Kings, and C7 under their new banner, Zundel Esports, have made their return through the entire open qualifier, so shout out to them because that is a huge feat. And lastly, we've got Osaka, R15, Skullbreakers, and Club 9D making their return. They were invited based on their performance in the Season 1 Grand Finals as well, though they had to qualify in the last round of the open qualifier, the round of 36, but they did so successfully, and they are back to play. Now, the teams returning from Season 1 are not the only teams that we should be worrying or watching about, because of course we've got brand new talent in the mix, brand new teams in the mix, though some of the talent is returning. One of the biggest names that we're going to be seeing most likely is Atomic Esports. Atomic had a huge run through the open qualifier, and with Abreu from La Bahia in the mix, definitely an interesting dynamic for that squad, as they will likely be facing off against their former team very soon in the group stage, and multiple times as well, at least twice. In fact, we do have a double round robin format for this season, which means a lot more games and a lot more chance for competition. Another big squad that we want to shout out, I got my notes right over here, because Team 999, their stats were absolutely ridiculous in the open qualifier, so definitely go ahead and look through the website to see just how dominant they were throughout multiple rounds of the tournament. Keep an eye out for that team, definitely a very scary team. Now, this week's coverage will be a little bit shorter since we do not have results to cover, but expect the Free Fire Pro Report, the NA Pro Report specifically, to cover all of the results from the previous weeks. Though all of our coverage you can catch live. All of the competitive games from the group stage to the LCQ to the grand finals will be streamed live on Twitch and on YouTube. So make sure you don't miss any of the action. You can catch it yourself, and make sure you join us for those broadcasts and cheer on your favorite teams. And if your favorite team isn't playing on the day, come into the chat, talk some trash. We love to see that. And definitely show support for all of our NA friends, because at the end of the road, we will have one team that will be sent off to Singapore to represent North America in its entirety. So definitely a very exciting tournament. Once again, a reminder, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the next 4 weeks, we will have game days, and we will have very competitive game days with a fantastic crew of casters, observers, analysts. The entire thing will be there, and we hope to see the entirety of North America there with us. So be sure to tune in. I'll definitely see you all there in the chat. Make sure you participate. Make sure you let your friends know that we should all be tuning in for Season 2, because it's bigger and better than it ever has been. Free Fire Esports is here in North America, so let's show it the best we can. But that's going to be it for me for the first NA Pro Report. Be sure to tune in next week for another bit of coverage from the results of this weekend. So yeah, we'll see you then. Catch you later.
subscribers, welcome to Season 2 of the Free Fire Pro Series. We're back to bring you more action, more talent, and even more booyahs for the best teams in North America. On top of a whopping $50,000 prize pool and the bragging rights of being crowned the FFPS Grand Champion, this season, the winners will also earn the first ever North American invite to the Free Fire World Series. But before they get there, teams will have to fight their way through a grueling 2-month tournament, including an open qualifier, group stage, last chance qualifier, and grand finals. The action started earlier this month with the open qualifier, where 192 teams from all across North America joined the FFPS for the first stage of the tournament. Each qualifier round featured 6 games, where teams earned points based on their in-game performance, including their placement and their kills in the 12-team lobbies. Only teams in the top half of their lobby moved through each of the qualifying rounds, making their way through the round of 192, the round of 96, and the round of 48. The bottom 6 teams from the Season 1 Grand Finals joined the top 30 from the round of 48 and the last open qualifier round, the round of 36. The 18 teams left standing from the final round earned their spots in the group stage. For the group stage, the top teams from the open qualifier will be joined by even more invited teams from Season 1. The top 6 teams from the Season 1 Grand Finals will qualify straight into a 24-team group stage, alongside the open qualifier teams from Season 2. Teams will be split up into groups of 6, and these groups will face off in a double round-robin format where each group will battle each other in a 12-team lobby twice. This stage will take place across 4 weeks, with 3 game days per week. In the end, the top 8 teams will punch their tickets straight to the finals. The 9th through 20th place teams will earn one last shot in the last chance qualifier, and the bottom 4 teams will be eliminated from the tournament. The last chance qualifier will be a 2-day gauntlet where teams that fail to qualify from the group stage will get their last chance to earn a place in the finals and fight for the title of FFPS Grand Champion. 12 games will give the top 4 teams a shot in the finals, while the remaining teams will be eliminated. The Grand Finals will pit the top 12 teams in North America against each other in a 3-day event. 6 games per day for a total of 18 games will be played for teams to claim their piece of the $50,000 prize pool and for a Grand Champion to be crowned. Which squad will reign supreme and get their chance to represent North America in the World Series? Tune in to find out.
Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of the Free Fire Pro Series, where we're back with the group stage, and once again it's the big one. It's the one everybody's been waiting for. Last year, don't worry about it. This year, teams are competing for that great play-in spot for the World Series in Sentosa, and it's going to keep being an incredibly exciting group stage. But before we get into the action today, let me just introduce ourselves. My name is Twiggy. I'm here today with Moustache Dave. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what up? Papa Twiggy in the house, man. I'm looking forward to today. We had some interesting games yesterday. Group A, I believe, are going to be playing again here today. So really curious to see how some of these teams that were really popping off yesterday in that group, how they continue on with that momentum here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be seeing some new teams joining from Group B. Obviously, some teams I'm really excited to see. First off, Virus Gaming, who were Wasaka last season. They are going to be they renamed. They're under a new org, but that last season was absolutely incredible for them. I think they finished second, and after a massive comeback in the LCQs, they came second in the finals. So they are one of these teams to be looking out for. But we've got some more familiar names like Jewel Kings coming back in. Some more teams that I'm incredibly excited for. But what happened yesterday? What teams are you really looking forward to in Group A?
Yeah. Yesterday, Bizarre Esports, they were really consistent all night long, and I don't believe they had a booyah. They were very close to getting that booyah, so I'm really curious to see how they continue that momentum. But then, kind of on the flip end, teams that didn't do so hot on day number 1, I have to assume they had the opportunity to go back, review the footage, the VOD, and really figure out what wasn't playing in their favor. One of those teams being Big Drip, hoping that they come back here today, because the competition, like you said, with Group B now, it's going to be pretty challenging.
Yeah, and I mean, you're coming up against a different group every time you play. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to improve and keep up that form. It's really the long haul this time. 12 days of competition in the group stage, and that's not including the last chance qualifier or the finals. So really, really important that you keep that form all the way throughout. But at the very least, it means if you don't perform great on that first day, that second day, however long, you have so many opportunities to come back into this one and earn some points for your team. So that's the real difference from last season, apart from obviously being able to qualify for that World Series. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to see exactly what kind of changes today over yesterday.
Yeah, not only that, to kind of keep track with your question here, Club 9D. Yesterday, I think they had like 3 booyahs out of 6 games,
Wow.
maybe even 4. I know they were just dominating. Yeah. So it was 3. It was a long night. They were dominating. 3 booyahs. So 50% of yesterday's games, they finished first place. So you asked what teams do I expect to be dominating here today? You have to assume the numbers right here in front of you. They don't lie. They don't lie, Twiggy.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty amazing. Club 9D, another team that was very, very big in season 1, sorry, last year. And I mean, these guys had an incredible group stage run last time as well. We saw them come all the way through that one, very well off into the finals. But unfortunately, in the finals, they didn't quite do quite as well. They came, fittingly, I'm pretty sure they came 9th, actually, in the finals. So not quite as good as we were expecting from them, but this is definitely their opportunity to come back into this one with 81 points in the first day. It's looking pretty likely.
Yeah, and this is going to be the overall leaderboard. So, of course, some of these teams, they did have the opportunity to play 6 matches last night. And these teams today, we could see was 0. They're going to be playing catch up. But you talked about it. It's a long haul event, right? You got at least 12 days to make sure to finish in that top 8 spot to get that grand finals position. So I'm really curious to see how these teams with 0 points, how they plan to at least come back a little bit here today. As I want to say, they're going to be playing catch up, especially after yesterday's night games from Club 9D and Bizarre Esports, like 81-78. That's just massive.
Yeah, it is really going to be a different playing field out there today, though. Obviously, they know how their group members or their group, enemies are going to be playing. Obviously, everybody else from Group A, they've already seen them play for one day, and probably a lot of them they've seen them play last season as well. But more importantly, it is really going to be about how they're playing against the teams in Group B, and it's going to be so different. We're seeing a lot of returning teams in there, 2 invited teams. And a lot of new faces coming into that one. So it's going to be really important to figure out how they play quickly and effectively be able to shut them off.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting topic to think about as well, because if you were in Group B watching the games last night, you have a good feeling of Club 9D and their rotations and how they like to play. So the question that really poses in my mind, do we avoid Club 9D or do we try to take them out, take out the big dogs in the lobby, sort of say. So we see the signal. It's up in the air. Game number 1, the players already loaded up in the lobby here, Twiggy. So we're about to start off day number 2 here very shortly.
Yeah, we're going into Bermuda first off, and I'm ready for some Free Fire. It's been a while. It's been several months since I've got to see some Free Fire, and I cannot wait to get started.
Hey, we are back in it, Twiggy. Papa Twiggy and Twiggy Jr. That's going to be me here today, if you don't mind. Twiggy Jr. on
Absolutely
the mic.
not.
So I appreciate it. And, well, here we go. Plane number 1 of the evening, starting out here on that east side. Going to be finishing over Observatory. Already a couple teams dropping out.
Yeah, Club 9D, actually, this is very similar to where they dropped all the time last season. They love sitting over towards the edge to begin with. I wouldn't say even edge players. They don't like to rotate quickly around those edges, but it looks like a lot of the time they do just kind of sit at the edge at the start of the game, get that loot really quick, and then move in and attack on the front. The get into no man's land very quickly and get involved with the fights. So keeping up the same run of form. I'm excited to see if they keep up the same efficacy in the gunfights as well.
Yeah, and they are going to be down there by themselves, so they definitely have time to kind of loot up. Meanwhile, over here by Clock Tower, am I counting 3 different teams right now? I think so, Twiggy.
That is a lot of a hot drop here, and we're already seeing some kills go out. Kill leader now tankers. They move in, and that's a lot of, well, action going on all at once. Having the high ground here, tankers, and they're going to fire down on top of that one team. I'm not sure if they realize that there's two teams in front of them here, but they're definitely quickly taking out their first team coming up against 1A there.
Yeah, honestly, with three teams kind of all stacked on top of each other, I like what SKB is doing. They're not pushing out. They're not extending their necks out too far. They're really hovering in the building, turtling up, and trying to catch a way of the land and trying to get as much intel as possible before making a play happen, because you just never know what type of sight lines your enemies will have on you.
Yeah. First off, they have decimated 1A Esports now. It's going to be great for them to start things off. Couple points on the board immediately. And SKB, I mean, they've heard the action, and I think they're getting well away from that team. They don't really want to be involved with TK if they carry on that run of form over towards Clock Tower here.
Yeah, they definitely know they're over there. But the thing is, SKB, no kills, right? No kills out of that whole skirmish with 1A losing 2. So those 2 points going over to the opponents out there across the way from TK, as we do see some shots from that MAC-10 just ringing on out. I'm thinking if I'm SKB, this is early game. I'm thinking we take this fight, because don't forget, we are playing here in the group stages with that comeback mechanic where they can get their teammates back up and in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Look over across the map here once again. Bizarre Esports, a high performer in last day's action, and actually 1A Esports, they've run over towards them. I think we're seeing Omidius. He sees one here. He's going to start firing down on top of that sniper's nest. It's a really awkward position to be in now under that fire of PSE. Going to move in. I think it's only one player left on 1A. One already taken out there by West B, but in moves our attacking player up the stairs, slowly, surely, putting pressure on. SKB, they've got involved.
Yeah, 1A, they were taken out right there, but SKB are in the thick of it. And we see TK, they got 2 up. They're trying to pull back just a little bit, kind of like what we saw from 1A. If you only have one alive, you want to evacuate the area. You do not want to get taken out, because that solo could get the whole team back up. And we saw that here multiple times yesterday. And I do believe that's what TK are trying to accomplish now. They recognize, okay, this is a losing battle. We already lost 2. Let's just try to pull back and maybe get that second chance going here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good play from SKB there. Obviously, they scouted out their opponent early on, backed up, got a better position, retook that fight. They've completely taken control of Clock Tower now. I mean, tankers, they've had to get out of that, losing 2 players just like 1A did earlier to them. I think the edge players now here, DN Esports, just running around the edge of the ring, making sure they're still surviving. They're going to need to take some high ground soon, though.
Yeah, I'm not even mad about this. I like this a lot. Yesterday, we had a lot of teams just kind of YOLO sending it, I'm going to call it, just into the zone, right? Just straight sending it. But DK wrapping around the edge, playing it nice and slow, nice and safe. I do appreciate that. But talking about playing nice and safe, oh, man, we got 2 squads looking to take the action to their front doorstep here.
Quickly, and the nades come down. They rain down on top of both teams. Time Turner committed. 2 time turners, actually, 1 for each team. Nade from Sanji just about misses. A little too far on the second one as well, but here come Big Drip. Running inside, getting close. It's, I mean, IT, they're stuck inside this building here. They might want to evacuate quickly, and it looks like that's the plan. They're going to wrap around the edge of Big Drip, try and take some shots down. Glue walls committed from Big Drip, trying to get themselves a better position here as IT official. They move in. That's 1, 2 kills. Very quick. They're going to keep that attack up. 1 finish, 2 finishes. Now permanently down players here, Big Drip. They're going to have to rethink their strategy. Maybe evacuate, maybe try and retake the fight. But 1 player stuck up here on the roof. Going to try and take him down with that shotgun. That's 1. Time Turner committed, and in drops the other 2 IT official players. That'll be another finish for them. Only 1 player left from Big Drip. He's going to have to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, so good right there from IT. They sent 3 to wrap around that fence, and they kept 1 on the opposite end. And that 1 player, that flank player, definitely playing a crucial role right there, really catching Big Drip by surprise. And wow, what a high level play right there from IT. IT yesterday, by the way, they also one of these teams very consistent all night long, kind of that mid pack team. I'm looking at them today after that last team fight. I'm thinking today's their day to maybe get some booyahs now underneath their belt.
Absolutely. Another team that was great again. 9D. They're actually moving outside of the ring here, but they're moving up on another team. And oh no, it seems the same fate has befallen Big Drip as did 1A Esports, running straight into the claws of DN Esports now. The full team staring down that last player. There's nowhere to go inside the ring. Finished off by Bad Boy. Big Drip, they get their first kill on the board. Oh, well, sorry. DN Esports get their first kill on the board. Big Drip eliminated with no kills whatsoever.
Yeah, unlucky, right? I'm definitely rooting for Big Drip here today. They did finish off last night, game number 6, pretty strong when we're looking at the placement points. They're pretty good at having that solo just kind of sneak and stay alive here. But when you got One Punch Man coming at you, oh, there ain't nothing you can do. That is One Punch Man. you can't defend against that here. And look at the circle. Okay, a couple teams up there to the northeast near Riverside might clash, and then down here in the south.
Look here. Jewel Kings. Two teams we've really seen a little bit of, actually, last season. Up against each other. Jewel Kings coming up on PSE. 2 knocked down already. Some effective shots here. They move in. 2 finishes. Very quick. You have to get out of there. 1 more eliminated. It's a efficient elimination from Bizarre Esports there as they just take 4 more kills onto the board. Kill leaders with 6 now.
Ooh, and look at that right there. The flag, dude. Stamping the flag right there. We saw a couple of that yesterday, and it really had my juices flowing. So to see Bizarre coming in here, game number 1, that right there, Twiggy, to me, that's just confidence. You know, the confidence meter is at an all-time high after winning that team fight and then planting that flag. So with Fuego not playing here today, I'm really curious to see how Bizarre performed, because Fuego, they were like that crypto night yesterday against Bizarre. And, well, Bizarre already with 6 kill points, so they're off to a great start.
Yeah, I mean, they were one of the kill. I mean, they had 2. Welcome back, everybody. Quick technical break, but we're back. We're back, and we're going to be going straight back into game here. Obviously, last game we just saw Pizarro Esports absolutely dominate the competition. We're going to be able to see now if they can keep up that run of form.
For sure. Can't anybody maintain? I'm a true believer in momentum, right? And I'm trying to get it trademarked, but I have the Mustache Day momentum meter right here. And after that last game, I think Pizarro, with all those kills, they're about here, right, on the momentum meter. It goes all the way up there to the right side. So we'll see if they can get back-to-back games. That momentum meter here, Papa Twiggy, woo, it's going to be off the scale, man.
I've never been more excited to see somebody's hand move a few degrees, but you've pulled me in completely now. I'm ready for this.
It's momentum. And hey, shout out to everybody in the chat too. I see a ton of Skullbreaker SKB fans just spamming in the chat here. So let's see what they'll be able to do. But look at this. Here they are. First fight of the match number 2.
First blood goes to Tankers, but Skullbreakers, they get involved once again as well. Another knock there for Tankers. They come up the stairs, completely taken aback. One more knock, and it will be all over for Skullbreakers in this one. Oh, and there it is. So many kills got there. They did manage to get one finish, one knock as well, but it's just Tankers quick on the trigger at the start of the game. They did this last game as well, but this time they've wiped out a full squad. Skullbreakers didn't have time to drop back, get better information, and then come back in this time. They got completely wiped immediately.
I blame the chat, honestly.
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure. Hey, shout out to SKB, though. I think I saw like at least 2 of their team members rocking the M1873, 94 damage to the face, but you got to line up them shots. Right there. So SKB, they still are going to be having 4 more games here, so they definitely have an opportunity to bounce back and acquire some more points and make the fans and the chat proud, of course. So we'll pay attention to them moving forward. But shout out to them, too, for just hot dropping, right? Like, that's 2 games in a row. That SKB, they're not scared. Like, they get involved, and that's what you like to see.
Speaking of getting involved, his big trip. A pretty disappointing performance last game, I would say, for them. They get involved this time, though, immediately. Over. Trying to find one team. 1A, who, once again, they were one team that was greatly affected at the start of last game. This time they've had to drop a time, Tanner. They will get a couple knocks, though. 2 finishes as well. That's massive for them to start off with. Big Trip. to be very disappointed as they started off that engagement. They fired shots first. They should have been the first to find a kill. They will find one knock. Ramos there with a headshot. They're going to be able to put a glue wall down and get that res back up, though. They have to move in quick. Oh, just in time with that glue wall. Time Turner committed as well. Jumps outside of it. Both doing a lot of damage. One knock, though. 1A. Already eliminating Big Drip at the start of the game.
R.I.P. Big Drip. And look at this. Another fight. The third fight. We're, 3 minutes into game number 2. This is going to be at Clock Tower. This is going to be TK up against PSE. The winners from last game. We had a massive game when we're talking kill-wise. And looks like they'll be popping the Time Turner with the MP40, trying to pull back just a little bit, buy some time for their teammates to pull up and provide that much-needed support. And here comes the collapse from PSE. And dude, Twiggy, they are just dominating. Look at the pushes from them. The teamwork, the synergy.
So monstrous. Get another finish. It's all but over here for Tankers. They run away. No, you're not going to get a chance. Oh, West B just picking up the pieces. And Bizarre Esports once again, not even giving it a second thought, just wiping out a team casually, easy. Clock Tower completely done. They're even firing on Atomic here. They're trying to compound this with some long range kills.
All I know is when a team has that momentum, and we talked about it, that momentum meter was like halfway. Boop, 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 it just went up a little more. The Mustache Day momentum meter. And shout out to them though. I love seeing as well these last 2 fights. I love how these players, at least in the mid to long range fights, to open it up, they're utilizing these marksman rifles. I love the marksman rifle. Yesterday in the chat, everybody agreed that the Woodpecker, best one in the game for sure. Couldn't argue with that, but we saw the SVD being used. Nice little suppressor on there. Thing sounds like a beauty. But I really do like to kind of watch these pro players and kind of what strategies they implement, right? And you'll be able to use that in your own gameplay. So I love that we have the opportunity to kind of just sit back and learn the knowledge.
Absorb it.
Yeah. Oh, like a sponge.
Virus Gaming, and you're going to need to stop absorbing bullets like sponges, though. IT official. They've started the fight. Some hard cover for Virus Gaming. They really do need, both teams here actually need to perform, get back in the running with their group mates. 1A Esports, in the meantime, have engaged with Club 9D over towards Sentosa at the bottom of the map. That's
IT yesterday, they got a lot of their points from playing the early game nice and slow and playing the edge, right? Trying to avoid these early fights. And the last 2 games, not the case. Not the case. So I'm really curious if these other teams who sat out yesterday kind of watching from the sidelines, if they recognize this and they're trying to take advantage. And talk about taking advantage. 9D, a bridge camp here, Twiggy.
Yeah, they're really trying it. They did get one finished there by 1A, who became the new kill leaders early on here. Club9D are holding down this bridge though, and the pressure is rising for 1A, who really need to get out of this position. Obviously, the zone's moving in on them. They're going to need to get out of here quickly. I think they're going to opt for another option than that bridge. Club9D have really, despite the player disadvantage, they've got a full control of that part of the bridge, the middle of the bridge. There's no way they're getting through that.
1A, double them back, right? Double them back. Going to be taking some damage out here. And gotta say, 9D, you pointed out they were down a member, but they scared them off. They did a great job at defending that bridge and forcing 1A to rethink their rotational pathway into this next zone.
You're defending well, though. I mean, Virus Gaming have held off IT Official long enough that Dual Kings, they've got involved, and now IT Official, they've decided, Virus Gaming, they're not, we don't care. Let's fire on Dual Kings instead. Let's get ourselves some kills. They're hungry. They're firing down the hill now. Just Dual Kings trying to get up there. Once again, another team that really does need to get those points on the board quickly, but IT Official, they need to be careful here. You need to have somebody at least watching Virus Gaming's building here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sandwiched between 2 teams.
Couldn't agree anymore. Like, you have to assume once when Virus hear those shots, right, from IT, and they recognize, okay, they're not even looking at us anymore, that's a prime opportunity to push them from behind and get the backstab. But it looks like IT, they did pump the brakes just a little bit. And now we got a three-way standoff over here off center in this new circle.
Kings, they've really rotated all the way around the side. They've gone straight round the backs of Virus Gaming.
Mom, look at me.
Very happy. Whee! Yeah.
Oh, shout out to the observers. That was beautiful.
That's great.
That was beautiful.
Well, they have found their way out of that engagement with Club 9D. I'm sure Club 9D do know that they have taken that zip wire out. That's why they are looking over this way now and firing shots down towards them. But they've actually got involved now with OG, Wipe Gang, trying to defend their position. They're doing quite a good job of defending the high ground, but Club 9D are getting involved real close. You can see glue walls absolutely everywhere. They get close range, but kills go out everywhere. Oh! The finish, though, comes out from OG, Wipe Gang. They get 2 knocked down, but all at the same time, those finishes came through. That's a massive team wipe to get.
Yeah, finally living up to their name right there. And one of the players from OG, they did drop that time turner. And that time turner, for me, was the game changer right there in that team fight. That and, of course, the M1014. Nice shotgun. Nice couple slugs, high damage, short range, of course. But, yeah, that time turner definitely was the play. So, looking at the zone, moving forward, and see where the circle favors everybody next here. A couple teams playing that edge as of right now. Anybody's position really standing out to you here, Twiggy?
Virus Gaming do seem to, fortunately, have got a good control of the middle of this. Well, I mean, this is pretty much the only solid cover in this kind of area that we're expecting the next zone to come through in. So it could be really beneficial for them. Obviously, Dual King's right next to them as well. They've got some good cover. But apart from that, Atomic Gaming, they're in a nice position. There we go.
Wow.
It closes in, and Virus Gaming, they do have a lovely position as well as Dual Kings. I mean, it's looking quite nice for them if they can hold off their 2 teams surrounding them. Obviously, Dual Kings and IT Official both on the edges of this one. 1A Esports just off to the northeast as well.
Yeah, just like turtle up, right? If you are Virus Gaming, turtle up, maybe even pop a glue wall to block one of these entrances to your compound, the surroundings. But one thing they also need to keep in mind is don't overextend, don't over-peek in those windows and get shot, right? You don't want to lose any health right here. So we'll see what will happen. IT, though, talk about gatekeeping. They're going to be trying their best here to gatekeep a second team, 1A, who are now making the approach.
Yeah. Luckily, the house they've been in for the last, 5 minutes or so has been chosen as one of the areas in that zone right on the edge. So they can actually kind of gatekeep 1A from getting through if they hold it off well enough. But there's not a lot of cover with this house. It's just one house, lonesome with some fences around it. So they're going to have to commit a lot of their own resources to keeping them away. You can see 1A dropping glue walls everywhere to try and just gain meters of position. IT, they get 1 kill. They'll get 2. 1A with 1 back. MVP down now. They're getting in close. Time turners, they're straight down on the floor. 1A trying to just vie for a little bit of control of the map. IT Official have every player up, and they will get the team wipe on 1A. A great defense of the position, even if it really did take it out of their resources.
Talk about the confidence, too. I saw one of the players from IT drop that time turner and opt to get a pickup on their teammate. You have to really trust your squad mates if you're going to go for that revive mid-fight while your opponents are pushing, right? Pushing. So that was one confident play. And now IT, they're going to have a nice little section up there to the north of the circle with a lot of options on exactly where they want to move forward and rotate into the new zone. So OG, we saw it last game. They love it. This is what I call an OG party, right? Like, they're just vibing, you know? They're just hanging out, waiting to see where this next circle takes them.
Yeah, luckily, one corner of that house, the exact corner they're in, is just about in this next zone, so they will have a lot of time to think about where they want to go. After that finishes off, but it's really going to be important that every team makes sure that they're prepared to rotate round, and that's an awkward new zone to come through. The only team inside it now, Atomic Gaming, with there's 2 pieces of hard cover here, 2 houses that you can hold down, and one of them is already taken over by Atomic Gaming. It's the teams like Dual Kings and Virus Gaming that are going to have difficulty moving towards that. They have a team to fight as they leave their hard cover, and so much ground to gain because they're going to have to move straight in towards Atomic Esports.
Yeah, I do appreciate how OG are playing this one really sneaky, really slow, and they're all grouped up. My only fear with this strategy is one grenade. You're done. You are done. So I'm curious, is their position compromised? Because both these teams, DK and OG, they're going to have to relocate, right? Like, this is not in the next circle. Yeah, OG, they're going to be pulling off this one, not opting to spend any more time over here.
You know what's wild to me is that Atomic have given up, the big compound they were in to try and move in towards IT Official and take a fight on the edge of zone. They weren't happy with where they were. They've gone straight in. One of them got knocked, actually, by Virus Gaming as they were rotating round. They do, however, get a couple of kills down here, but everybody is stealing them. We see DN Esports getting involved from close range. Virus Gaming as well from the north. Now both of these teams, they're fighting for this last place here. There's a massive house. You were in a massive house. You've moved in on a team now. I mean, at least everybody's alive.
Yeah, there's only, like 2 really massive houses, like you put it, that provide that hard cover in this new circle. Everybody else is going to be fighting out there in the open. So, I don't know. Might have been a misplay. Might have been a misplay to give up that position. Only time will tell.
Luckily for them, other teams getting involved has kept all 4 members of them alive. IT Official hanging on by a thread here, but Bizarre Esports, they're pushing for control of that other house, the one that they just left, over against Duel Kings here. OG Esports already taken down by them, but now in comes Bizarre Esports, and they're just going to ruin the dreams of Duel Kings. They're not going to be holding on to that for very long. Only 1 player left on that side, and I mean, they've completely taken control of what I would consider now the best house in this game. Both houses having just a tiny little bit inside zone. But here's where the fight pops off. Duel Kings finished off by Pizarro. And now they have, full control of a house that's really important in this next zone.
360 hit fire right there from Pizarro. They're just racking up the kill points this game. Now down to just 4 teams. We got IT out there up close and personal. But Pizarro, you also have to give it to them because their glue wall positioning is just perfect, right? They know how to block these angles, these sight lines from the enemies, and these glue walls allow them to move around a lot more freely compared to if they weren't using them at all.
Yeah. Atomic already out now. They got taken out by Virus Gaming. We can't say it was a misplay particularly to go in towards that house, but they didn't gain any kills from it, and they have been taken out now by Virus Gaming. Virus Gaming, they've taken 1 casualty to the remaining players of IT Esports, IT Official, sorry, at this point. So they're actually going to lose control of that house and try and just play for zone now, using their glue walls. We've got 4 teams left in the game. IT Official, Virus Gaming, DN Esports, and Bizarre Esports. But IT Official, they've been finished off now by zone, actually. Couldn't get out of it with the Virus Gaming players defending that one. But out comes that grenade launcher once again. It's really important to their success here. Bizarre holding off the angles, but DN Esports comes in from the side. That's some massive kills, and nades come in, compounding their terror. 1 finish, 1 knock. They're going to be able to get that up with the help of the time turner, but in move DN Esports to try and capitalize on that one. Knocked down in the play zone there, Domedios. DN Esports moving in quickly. Virus Gaming gets involved now. Long range sniper rifle, 1 kill. Finishing off 1 player there. They've got a lovely position now as these 2 teams fight against each other.
Yeah, a lot of great glue walls being utilized from all teams left here in the final zone. DN trying to push up with glue walls, but while they were pushing into Bizarre, they're also going to be getting backstabbed right here.
Yeah, Virus Gaming, long range now. There we go, DN Esports is down. It's Virus Gaming who really did this one. Bizarre Esports, only 1 player left. Virus Gaming, 1 down. It's a 1v1 at this point. The bush comes out. Oh! And there it is! Bizarre Esports managed to get their 2nd booyah in 2 games. Virus Gaming tantalizingly close to making sure that they held on to that one, but it doesn't happen.
Wow. What a game. What a game. Once again, back-to-back games. And Bizarre, I'm surprised here because at the end, we had a soft 2-2 split, and they were taking shots at the squad Virus over there and also trying to keep DK at bay. So they're definitely spreading kind of thin. And we saw those grenades impacting them at the end big time, right? They were blowing up left and right. And the decision to just send your solo out there, go behind that rock and just wait it out just a little bit, that paid off big time. Paid off big time for Pizarro. Not only did they get the win, that's 12 points for placement points, but also another game with a ton of kill points to go with it.
Yeah, this time not really as big of a performance for Domidillos. He actually got kind of hurt a lot there at that last fight. Obviously, I mean, when you're trying to get involved with kills and you got two teams on either side of you, something's going to happen. People are going to die. I mean, Teko was really, for me, the big player of that team. Really got involved. And at the end, coming out with that clutch, massive plays. And just being able to hold off two teams from either angle. One long range, one close range. That's so much to think about. So just being able to have that, the brain to be able to compartmentalize that. And then just go in and say, okay, keep a cool head. We move in and we win. Awesome. Yeah. Amazing.
Echo doing a great job, but then also to kind of double back that fight, West B popped the glue wall and also got a pickup. We might be able to see that here. But talking about the split-second decision-making, West B might have even gotten the pickup on the Teko, right? To allow Teko to continue to survive here in this late game.
Such good positioning at the end there as well. Being able to put putting the glue wall just far enough in to be able to defend for long enough that he doesn't have to run in like that member of Virus Gaming at the end there does. He has to run, try and stay away from that zone that's doing so much damage. You don't want to stay in there and then just get shot out the blue. He only had a tree to hide behind. He had to run in. But being able to put that glue wall far into that zone means that you can just sit at the edge of that and you have an extra 3 or so seconds just to be able to fire down without any kind of problems in terms of movement.
So today, Pizarro Day so far, right? Back-to-back games. And what happened to Club 9D, though? Club 9D. Yesterday, they had 3 booyahs. We keep seeing them in this mid-game get involved, get into some fights. But this last game, they got wiped out by OG, the OG wipe squad. So, yeah, we can see Club 9D right here. Only 2 points this last match.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can only really call that an unforced error this game. Really trying to lock down what was it? It was 1A Esports over towards Sentosa there, forcing them to take another route. But they got so preoccupied with that one, they took one casualty to 1A Esports, and then they got completely blinded, sideswiped there from OG Wipe Gang, who came in from the south and just made sure that they couldn't get in zone. So playing so close to the edge there, it really came back to bite them, as they just spent too much energy on 1A Esports.
I got a question for you here, kind of a side note question here, Papa Twiggy. Who's in charge of driving that air balloon? Because that thing is just always just casually strolling by. There's 3 teams down below, just massive fight, and then there's an air balloon. Just what are they doing up there? Talk about a sightseeing tour. I might need to book some tickets, but yeah, yesterday we had Fuego. They had a game with 21 kills. 21 kills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I got a feeling today, Pizarro Esports, with how they're playing, they might break that record. They might.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of kills per game, obviously, they've already, in this game too, they've had 3 kills there. Or players in in the top 5 kills. Not 3 kills, quite a lot more than that. Actually, they do have 15. That's 5 times more than 3. Quick maths for everybody out there, but I mean, yeah, absolutely beautiful. I passed high school, and I've never been more proud of the fact as they go through here. Teko with 8 kills that game. That is unreal. That's 2 squad wipes for him alone, and I can't sing his praises enough. But it's really going to be. I mean, they've already got 58 points in 2 games. That's so much to work off of, and they've completely taken that gap from Club 9D further than absolutely they could have ever before. Like today alone, look at that massive gap. 58 points. The next closest is 21 from Virus Gaming.
Yeah, so these are going to be today's leaderboard so far in today's games. Pizarro Esports, 2 booyahs, 34 kills. So 34 kills. They have more kill points than second place on down. What's going on? Everybody else? What's everybody else? What is going on? 34. They have more points than second place on down in total. here today.
It's unreal. Bizarre Esports, they woke up, they had their power cereal of choice, their power energy drink of choice. They've completely just, I don't know what they've done today to absolutely just get so much energy into this. I mean, they've been faultless. As far as I can tell, they have not made a single mistake, no unforced errors. Whenever they're, like, even in a 2v1 in terms of teams, they managed to hold them off and keep 2 players alive to the end of the fight, and then 1 player did a 1v2. Absolutely unreal from Bizarre Esports. Every player is completely... I don't know how to come up with a criticism.
What I like to say is they're gaming, right? They're gaming. That's the only thing you can say. They're gaming. Average kills, almost 10. Almost 10 average kills here so far. And we're going to be heading to Kalahari next, which is known for some long-range fights. Great for snipers. And I feel like we've been seeing a lot of Bizarre players really strong suited for those mid to close range fights, right? They're really phenomenal in these close range fights. I'm curious if they also have the other end of the spectrum where they're sniping, right? And we're going to have the opportunity to kind of watch them here this next map, the next 2 maps to be exact.
Yeah, exactly. Kalahari, I mean, really, really long range, lots of hard cover to hide behind, so no matter where that zone falls, you're going to be engaged in long range fights. It doesn't matter whatsoever. Up till the end of the game, where obviously you can run in on somebody, completely destroy them, but we already know that they're going to be able to win those last duels at the end. Yeah. So it's more about how they play early game for me on this one. And let's see if Club 9D, they can try and get back into this, because yesterday was brilliant for them. They really need to get involved today.
Exactly. That is the team. Club 9D, can you bounce back after 2 games, not getting that booyah like a lot of the fans would expect you to get just off of yesterday? Ladies and gentlemen, game number 3, day number 2. Let's get into it, Twiggy.
Here we go. Coming in from the north over towards the south. And we're going to be able to see everybody drop. Look at this. Couple hot drops here already. Going towards Shrines, you can see DN and I think that's IT Official. They're going to be dropping right on top of each other on that blue zone. Everybody else spreading across the map. We're seeing so many teams drop right next to each other. This is not, like, nobody over there towards the northeast.
Yeah, and finally a game where SKB are not hot dropping. So shout out to the chat right there. SKB might have a better game here so far, just based off of that alone. But yeah, up there in the north, you got 2 teams dropping in a high tier loot area. Then you got down here 3 squads, Twiggy. 3 teams all on top of each other.
Yeah, and one of them is Bizarre Esports. If somebody can get rid of them at the start here, they can start really catching back up to the rest of the pack. 1A Esports, they're trying to make that happen. Firing down on top of them. Nothing yet. There's a lot of hard cover for Bizarre Esports to hide behind those massive dinosaur bones over at Mammoth. You just sit behind them and wait. 1A Esports, cut their losses. They're going to move over. Also a lot of health. They do need to find something to get Brady back up. There we go. They can get away from that. Bizarre Esports as well. They'll be very thankful for that, I feel like, because they really didn't pick up a lot of resources to fend them off for too long.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity, honestly, for 1A, because they have the high ground, and like you said, Bizarre, their loot is not the best as of right now because of how early it is in the game. And I feel like 1A, they had the one-up. They had the one-up onto Bizarre, and well, I have to assume maybe games 1 and 2, kind of their performance definitely playing a factor in the decision-making to pull off this early game fight.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. You saw one player took 1 shot from Bizarre Esports and decided, you know what? Guys, we've seen what they can do. Let's leave them alone. Let them do their own thing.
I understand it. I understand it, right? I just feel like it's a missed opportunity because if you are one of these teams on the mid to lower half of the leaderboard, pretty much if you're any team except for Bizarre here today, I feel like you want to get involved in these early game fights here, where there's a high chance that you won't be third-partied, number 1. And number 2, if things don't go your way, as long as you have one of your teammates alive, you have the opportunity to get your squad back up and at them. So, hey, we'll see. We'll see. But checking in with 9D, ziplining, baby.
Up we go. There we go. Lots of ziplines on this map. Lots of chances for quick movement around the place, which means that no matter where that zone drops, you can get somewhere safe, somewhere quick. It does mean that there's a lot of, obviously on a zip line, you can't set up your own cover. You just go straight through on that one. Open shots for absolutely everybody to fire on. And so many sight lines from across the map means that you can just take them out here. Virus Gaming, they are in second for today, just by 1 point, but ahead of the pack. They're trying to get involved with Club 9D, once again make their day miserable, but Club 9D are able to get across the crevasse over towards Refine, and then just find some cover. But look, everybody's spread out so much more than... I mean, we had, DN involved with IT Official. IT Official backed out of that one. We had 1A involved with Pizarre. They backed out of that one. Everybody is... I think this is kind of the evolution of the day, is that, everybody's now kind of learned how everybody plays, and they just don't want to get involved anymore. They want to get some points on the board.
For sure. And I'm just looking at this map here, potential fights. 1A, they pulled off a Pizarre, but now look at this. They're like right up with Club 9D, another really heavy hitter, strong contender in the lobby. And hey, shout out to the chat. I see them going crazy after last match saying, man's clutch. And I have to agree with you. Like, man, it is clutch after last game's performance. And I believe they're talking about Teco, right? From Bizarre Esports. So what a team. They have been just doing so well here tonight. 2 games in a row, getting the booyahs, getting massive kills. I wonder how that'll play a factor in the next couple games here. Like, will they just continue to snowball?
Yeah, it's one of those things, because not only is there, confidence going to be built up, which, allows you to make these more kind of, how they say after one drink you get that kind of confidence to take down a Titan, and you're just better at video games somehow. I think it's like that, that they've got that adrenaline from that first game, and suddenly, they're making decisions that they might not have made to begin with, and it's going to get them more kills. Maybe it's a higher risk, but you're getting that higher reward as well. As well as that, everybody's scared of you now. We saw the way 1A reacted to fighting them, immediately backing out. That's going to play a massive part as well, because those players are going to be really slow in kind of engaging with fights with them. They're not going to want to commit to that one. We saw 1A, they could have got 4 kills on the board there. They just backed out.
Yeah. Nobody wants to poke the bear at this point. And over here, though, Atomic, I really do like this 2-2 split that they got right now. Nice little 2-2 split. They got 2 of their teammates down here in that mid-range, and then 2 up there above with a nice vantage point. I believe that's going to be Virus Gaming kind of walking into that trap here. Very curious to see how that Atomic trap ends up playing here very shortly. But over here in the red zone, a couple long-range sniper shots, as we expected here on this map. That'll be happening.
Yeah, everybody is moving straight in towards the center very quickly, though. I mean, we saw IT Official, they were over towards the edge, towards Shrines. DN Esports, they were over at Shrines. I mean, everybody's moved into the danger zone, which is interesting play. I get the, you really do want to have control of Refinery on this map. It's a massive, massive complex of hard cover that you can just take and then hold. And as long as you have a control of that to begin with, it's going to make it very hard for anybody to rotate round towards that. So really important for them. I mean, look at this. Club 9D, they're getting involved now. OG, once again, the bane of their last game. They're going to be sending them away. 9D do have the better position. They're going to fire down on top of OG. Shots do land. Oh, but OG, one shot to the head. John will get them down. It's an easy res with the help of a time turner and a glue wall. OG trying to move in on that one. Trying to make something more happen. Grenade comes in, not going to do any damage. Find a new position.
Yeah, I was going to say, OG, like, they somehow managed to just avoid the sightlines of 9D and Pizarre. 2 of the strongest teams in the lobby. And now look at this. Pizarre looking to wrap around 9D. But 9D recognizing that push out there. And they are going to be on high alert. So 9D, they are going to be up here on the top. Kind of in the open. But they do have the vantage point. We're talking about that high ground. But Pizarre are going to be in the compound. And this is kind of like a blessing almost for OG. Because 9D, they were tunnel vision. They wanted to take out OG, but since now Pizarre is in the picture, OG were able to kind of pull back and turtle up.
Yeah, I mean, fighting against 2 teams, you really want to make sure you're playing safely here. They do back up. They've got some cover with those crates. Everybody else across the map, you can see getting involved. 1A and Tankers. They're going to quickly learn of each other's existence. Maybe regret. Oof. The day they got in there. Glue wall will save one player. Tank is now stuck in an awkward location. Puts down his own glue wall. Another one going to be able to heal. Back out of this. 1A definitely have the better position here. We see Skullbreaker's just having a little road trip over towards there as well. Get a nice view of the fight.
Got Hank the Tank out here too. Can't downplay that at all. So let's see. Hank the Tank, their name going to get put to the test as they are about 50% HP right now in the front lines.
Pushing in further. Nades will do a lot of damage to 1A. That's 2 finishes for them. Over the other side of the ruin here, you can see they've just completely dismantled the team, but you can't stand still in such an open location to heal there, Z2. Taken down by one of the remaining 1A members, who do back out to the north over towards the Extra Foundation, but yeah, I mean, with 2 casualties, you do want to get away from there. In the meantime, I feel sorry for the observers because there's so much going on across the map all at once. Blood9D, they've still started to get involved with OG, and now they're holding off Bizarre Esports as well, getting 2 knocks on that, 1 finish. That's 2 kills for them already. They've got 1 down from OG and 1 down from Bizarre as well. They move in quick as well. You can see here, just trying to get 1 more kill on that board. They're really hungry for them now, especially against a team that, you know, in the same group as them. They're going to be competing with them the whole time. They need to get these points back on Bizarre Esports, who've been running away with the competition today.
Yeah, looks like we're trying to follow up with the Mac 10, and after that fight, we can see on the map, Bizarre Esports all separated, all running in all types of directions right here, just trying to salvage what they can, because 9D coming out on top of this fight.
They've really after that first 2 games, maybe Bermuda just isn't their, you know, their like big map or something, but something has awakened within them after those first 2 games. They've seen the way that their closest points leader have played, and they've learned something or 2 from that. Lots of kills on the board now, 4 for them. But meanwhile, Atomic somehow keeping away from Duel Kings here and being able to get a couple knocks. 1 finish there for Duel Kings, but they've still got to play a knock. They should have some time to get that res at the very least. Atomic, the rest of the team, is kind of involved with Virus Gaming here.
Yeah, there's just a ton of action going on, and now the teams that were holding down Refinery, that next circle, it favors Refinery, but right there on the edge, so we see a couple teams looking to center up, but the center of this new circle going to be occupied by 9D. So there's not going to be a lot of room to work with 9D holding down such a strong position here right now in this next circle. So I'm honestly curious to see what these teams kind of play in the edge, what they're going to do, like how are they going to respond. And I got to say, there is a giant cliff kind of blocking those sightlines from 9D out there to the west. So Big Drip, they might be able to catch a break, but look at that on the map. Big Drip have a team closing in right behind them.
Yeah, I mean, you got the remaining player of Bizarre Esports there in a DL on the south, and then you've got coming in all the way from the northwest there, Tankers moving in close, and we've seen how great they can be in a full team fight at the start of a game, especially against a team like Big Drip, who've been slightly underperforming every game so far. Let's see what they can do with a little bit of a drop on them. Big Drip have already figured out exactly where they are, but they do have some nice position. A lot of hard cover once again on this map. You can get them real close. They do get in close. The shotgun's coming into effect. Time Turner's dropped down, but Montana is already down on the ground. Tank going in with a nade on Darlin. They move in forward, get another finish. 1 knock for Big Drip, but it's all over for them as only 1 player left in the corner trying to stay away from the rest of the Tankers' side. It's all over. There we go. Coming in 10th, Big Drip only managed to get 1 kill for themselves, but Tankers, they've got 6 on the board now.
Yeah, great job from the Tankers right there. I almost feel like Big Drip, that was a mistake going into that little tiny compound, right? Because after that, you saw the Tankers just surround that little tiny compound and flush them out. Flush them out. I would have liked to seen Big Drip not go in the compound, but use the outskirts of that compound as cover compared to going inside. Because right when they went inside, we saw a couple glue walls, and they pretty much locked themselves in a tomb right there, in my opinion. So shout out to Tankers, though. Team Tankers in the chat is just going insane after that fight. And they're going to have a really strong position now on the edge of the zone. So really curious to see how they play this one out now.
Great fight for them. It's lovely. Club 9D. I mean, they took a I feel like usually go for Refinery on this map, but they've taken a risk in going for the little compound on the edge of Refinery over to the west. It's worked out massively for them. Somehow they've got insanely lucky with the zone. It's managed to go right on top of that one. I mean, playing for a position that is not as hot as Refinery and getting a lot of hard cover from it. Maybe it's a calculated risk for them. I mean, no matter where the zone lands, you can move in quickly from there. But it's absolutely paid dividends for them, as they've just got such a nice location. They're firing down on Skullbreakers and Tankers at the same time from it.
Sir, now it's just kind of a battle of who's going to move first, right? And who's going to get backstabbed. And we can see right there, you got Tommy, you got Virus Gaming, you got DK, a ton of teams just clashing. And SKB trying to lob some grenades as well, applying a ton of damage.
Well, kills going out across the whole map here. 1A Esports, the first team to go down of the top 10 there. OG are also doing damage onto Skullbreakers. We got Virus Gaming, who gave up a lot of their control of the edge of Refinery there to go in for a quick push on Skullbreakers and OG here. But it's more Dual Kings their problem here at this point. They've got 2 kills. Dual Kings really just trying to keep them back, but it's Virus Gaming. They've done so well already. Finished off by Club 9D. They've been waiting for that one for a little while, but Virus Gaming, it's now really just trying to get this last player here of Dual Kings. Get this position before other teams move in on them.
Yeah, they are doing a good job, though, at just staying alive, right? Virus Gaming, they're doing a great job, all things considered, because look at the circle. The next circle doesn't favor them once again, and guess who it favors? Club 9D, trying to defend up against Tankers right beneath them.
They read the script for today. They know exactly where they need to be, wherever they are. You can see a lot of teams now playing passively. You've got 3 teams on 1 player. Or actually, OG is on 2, but they like to sit on top of each other, so it looks like 1 on the map. I apologize. Club 9D really trying to get more kills on the board. They've already got 6 for themselves, but they've got now a nice position on top of Tankers. The high ground is going to do massive for them. But wait, OG, they're coming around the back. Can they just get involved and maybe take down 1 Club 9D member? They are now sandwiched by 2 teams.
You got to give it to OG Wipe Gang. Just the fact that they're still alive, because remember, they weaseled their way between PSE and Club 9D, but then PSE kind of caught the attention of Club 9D, right? And just that whole time, OG have been able to continue to survive. Top 6 situation, so placement points, this is perfect for them.
Meantime, Bizarre Esports, they've only got 1 player left, but they're wiping the whole of Virus Gaming down there. Another one. Oh no, 9D are getting involved now as well. Oh, Bizarre Esports, they finish off. They're finished off now. It took a little bit. Yeah. Virus Gaming, after taking a lot of damage, but third-partying there is Club 9D. They just have such a nice view over absolutely every team on the map. 9 kills now. Triple kill for Steve Gray. There's not much anybody can do at this point. They have the whole high ground.
Everybody is pretty much out of luck here. You got 9D on the high ground, like you mentioned, on this platform.
Oh! What a shot!
Dude! The 1-tap, dirt tap, and then you got Team Tankers right underneath them. So there's just nowhere to go if you aren't Club 9D and Team Tankers.
Yeah. And the only one left now is Jeffrey on the side of Virus Gaming, trying to hold on to the only bit of hard cover that there is possible to be in on the zone now, but it's going to start moving in. Now we're on the final phase of the game. The high ground still in the favor of Club 9D, and that's going to be massive for them when the zone starts moving. It's going to be Virus Gaming that is really just held down on, but fired upon. Tankers now. He's not getting out of there alive. No, Virus Gaming out. 3rd place. It's going to be lovely for them, but Tankers is being shot down upon now. The zone moves outside of that high ground, so it's going to be difficult to get down from there, but Tankers is eliminated. Club 9D, they will take their first booyah of the day. Well played.
Wow. GG. GG right there. Club 9D. What is that? 4 booyahs altogether in 2 days. And honestly, I was getting nervous. Club 9D, that zone started to close. They started to take a lot of damage. I feel like if you were Team Tankas, maybe a time turner, maybe some glue walls kind of blocking behind you might have been the play, and just try to survive at that point and let the zone damage pretty much seal the deal for you. But at the end of the day, very tight situation that they were in. 9th place, for no, not ninth place, 9 points for Team Tankas. That's a solid game right there.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. But I mean, Club 90, the TV dinner of the day, took a while to warm up, but once they got going, really slapped them out. Absolutely beautiful. Other teams getting involved, obviously Pizarro Esports lasting to the end of that game, lots of kills for them. But unfortunately, they really did not have a fun time with the zone. That's going to allow Club 90 to get right back up there on that leaderboard. But Virus Gaming, again, I mean, they've been consistent throughout the whole day. They got in there in 3rd place. Tankers, though, this is the first time we've really seen them get involved in that late game.
What a shot.
That is an amazing shot.
What a shot. Yeah, what a shot. The question that comes to my mind, though, for Club 90, not to take away anything, of course, you know, they were up there on that platform defending it. They were doing a great job. But what if these zones went out there to the east, right? Because we saw these circles keep popping on top of them, favoring them on the platform. Who would have came out on top? I have my answer. I think it would have been Virus Gaming. Remember, they were out there on the east side. They were holding it down. They were doing a great job. But then these end game zones were just like, Virus Gaming, we appreciate you, but not today. And 3rd place, all things considered, a solid game.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best part about Refinery is that obviously it's right in the middle of the map, so more likely than not the zone is going to be on top of you. But even if the zone is far away from that, you have so many zip lines to get away from it, you can get out of there quickly. It's just a lovely position to hold down. It's why generally, you know, the teams that are sitting on top of that are going to be favored. We saw Club 9D, they had control of a part outside of Refinery. Tankers took control of Refinery quickly, but Virus Gaming as well. They had full control of Refinery early in the game. It favored them not just because the zone landed on top of them, but because they had so many options, I think.
Yeah.
Is the best way. And I think if we see, obviously, yeah, you say that, you know, Virus Gaming would have got way more involved if it was towards the east. I feel like next game, hopefully we see, you know, more of an edge kind of zone coming in. I want to see what happens to the teams that sit on Refinery there. See if they can really make use of those options.
Well, we are going to have another Kalahari coming up next. And Tankas, look at that. You know what I like to see? The little green arrow going up. Going up. It is good to see, especially after last game. And then we also saw Tank up there in the top 5 kill leaders from this previous game. Pizarro Esports still in 1st place, though. No worry. 36 kills, 65 total points. Club 9D right behind them after that. But Booyah with 20 kills, 43 total points here. And these are the numbers from today's games. Today's game so far, the first 3. Here's the overall.
Yeah, overall, I mean, Pizarro Esports are still well ahead. It was very close between Pizarro Esports and Club 9D yesterday. Club 9D ended on 81 points, Pizarro Esports on 78, so 3-point difference, obviously, on that one, the 2 highest points of Team A. And I mean, they're compounding it perfectly today. They've done so well. Fuego took so many points yesterday that they're still not been taken over by anybody on this one. But the club, not the Club B, the Group B leaders here are only Atomic with 32 points so far. They really need to get involved later on this one, because with 3 maps down already, you know, you continue this form. You're looking at 64 points. That was, I think, at the end of day 1, that was probably 4th, 5th place. So, you know, obviously, team Group A, they have the inherent advantage after last day's points, but you really do need to be getting more points in these if you want to get involved in the later parts of the day.
Yeah, for me, though, looking at the overall Group A is like the group to watch out for here so far, at least with those big names representing the top of the leaderboards. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send to a break, and when we come back, some more Kalahari action.
salute. Whatever the situation, we'll learn we're coming. We'll stand the face, that's how we wanna run it. Break the limit to reality, one ain't real. Creating a space where everyone's free to feel. We ain't afraid, we are the brave. We can play, this is a place where all the hurt. You know the squad, we ain't never gonna stop. Fire to inspire, we know this is who we are.
We are the dreamers, the daring believers. We march to a different drum. Everything's waiting, it's us for the taking. United, we've already.
No.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Free Fire Pro Series, where once again we are back and Pizzari Sports remain the leader of not only points for today, but points overall on the board for the group stage so far. It's early doors, but they really have made their mark on day 2. I mean, they didn't do badly in day 1 at all either, so they're definitely well ahead. Right now, Club 9D hot on their trail after the last game, though, with a brilliant Booyah, completely dominant. So, we're going to get back into the action with the second half of today. Let's take a look at the head-to-head of Club 9D and Pizzari Esports. Dave, you want to talk me through that one?
Yeah, look at this. Pizzari Esports averaging 8.9 kills with a 4.4 average placement. And the Booyahs, though, Club 9D, we cannot ignore the Booyahs. This team, we talk about teams who have the formula, who have the recipe. They got it. You have to assume 4 Booyahs out of, we're not even done with day number 2, but out of the 2 days so far, this is
Yeah, I mean, that's just under a 50% win rate over 2 days. They've played 9 games, 4 Booyahs. That's absolutely unreal, and you can see the difference in kills there. Pizzari Esports have done so well to keep up with them on the first day in terms of kills because they were right on this. I mean, 3 points behind Club 9D after the end of day 1. They're doing so well to get those booyahs today. Club 9D just about missing out in the end game. They didn't do so well in the second game, but in the first game and the third game, they got to the end of the game. They just didn't quite convert it in that first one. Today, I mean, they're warming up, and we're back into Kalahari once again, where hopefully they are going to take their second win, but we will see.
Let's go. Halftime, done. 3 more games to go here this evening. And to kind of add on to your point about Club 9D, I feel like this is a squad. This is a team that they're very well thought out in the fights that they take and do not take. When things aren't going their way, they recognize the situation and they're so aware of the terrain that they pull off and they just continue to survive. But when things are going their way, they make sure. When they have their teeth inside you and their prey, they make sure to take full advantage of that. And there's a huge fight. Look at this. PSE and Club 9D, the top 2 teams in the lobby, hot dropping each other.
And it's Club 9D that take the first blood here. Finding another one inside the time turner as well there. Adiel going in straight for the kill, but Chackle was not falling for that one. Now down on 2 kills for himself already. Steve Gray just about surviving that engagement. Low on health. He's going to have to back out of the fight at the very least, but Club 9D, even without him, have that man advantage at this point. 2 kills for them on top of that. That points leader is so important for them.
Chilling at the sub. Let's see. And they take Teco. Teco's just trying to evacuate the area, just trying to survive. And looks like this giant cliff, the terrain, will be able to keep Teco alive for the time being. But White, talk about being thirsty out here in the desert. White is just full sending it right here.
Yeah, I mean, you've already got some kills on the board, and this is the points leader. Taking them out early game. Wow, going straight in. He's not going to be expecting somebody this close. Coming round as a bush, and hey, that's perfect. Teco does manage to knock one player, but, I mean, it was completely blindsided by White there. 3 kills now for Club 9D, and it's on top of their biggest rivals of the whole tournament so far. That is absolutely massive for them. That opens up so many options, not only in position, but being able to play the rest of the game without somebody hot on their heels like Pizarro.
Yeah, Damadeus is still alive, though. Just pointing that out from PSE. So Damadeus does have the potential, the opportunity to get some of these teammates back up with that comeback mechanic that is activated for the group stages. And maybe they'll get the revenge here this game. But, yeah, after that hot drop at the sub, Club 9D coming out on top. And that is somewhat of a surprise to me, honestly, because just looking at the 2 teams here today, I would have said Pizarro are definitely a little better when it comes to their team fights, and Club 9D are a lot better when it comes to just map awareness and surviving, right? Just making that late game. But after that last fight, they proved me wrong that they also have those gun skills to back it up in those team fights, in the early team fights, that is.
Yeah, and as you said, Pizarro taking advantage of that mechanic, bringing in the teammates back. We can already see Adiel and Teco are back on the map here. Can't see that on the stream, but they are back in the map, so Pizarro Esports will have a second chance at that one, but still massive for Club 9D as the engagements come out across the map here. DN over against Tankers, who did so well last map to survive to the second place and almost take that victory, but they move in close and they're going to make it a great start immediately. 2 knocks, making sure they can't get those reses out as well. 2 finishes, 1 more knock for them. That's pretty much a wipe on top of DN Esports now.
Got the P90, got the shotguns. It's just that. Yep. It's just that tank. Last game, their team fight on point. They were winning them. This game looks like it's going to be the same thing. Let me ask you, Papa Twig. Let me ask you. See, I'm PSE. They're just missing West B at this point. If you do get your whole team up, you have a good idea that Club 9D are probably still down there by the sub. Are we going in for a round 2 if you're PSE? Like, do you go for a round 2, or do you just try to play the zones and possibly meet in that late game? Like, for me, I would get the revenge, but I want to get your take.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I'd back up. We know, look, from the eyes of Pizarro Esports, who we know are great with close range engagements, coming up against Sub, which is such a high ground. You're going to be coming up against them way up there. It's such a difficult place to retake from that low ground. I'm not sure I would risk taking that engagement against a team that we already know. With that long range advantage, they are so accurate, and they showed it there, getting Bizarre Esports down, even on that hot drop. It's a difficult one to retake. Obviously, they could try that, and it would be massive for them for the rest of the game, taking out the team that has proved themselves already twice on this map, but risky one.
Yeah, 9D, I couldn't agree more. Long range, we saw, especially last game, great. Oh, but talking about long range, look at this, though. A little pull-up here. Close range. It's going to be Atomic looking to crash his compound.
Wow, an early engagement from one player, but the rest of the team will join very quickly. Dual Kings stuck inside now on this staircase, trying to fortify their position, not going too aggressive against Atomic here. But Atomic laying it under siege. Grenades go out. A lot of damage. They move in now, trying to take out the glue. Get it out of the way, man. Oh, they blocked the staircase trying to stop them from getting in, but it's going to work to their disadvantage as now Atomic, they make their way up. They're like a SWAT team moving clear, clear, clear. And it is clear as they manage to get 2 knocks already, trying to keep out the rest of the players, but down to the stairs comes Nieto. Getting one more. No, not quite. Atomic. They've got 3 players down already. Papi Kama's just trying to keep his team alive. Gets one, and Atomic is down. It's a brilliant clutch. Gonna be able to res. Oh no, only res 1. Oh, they get it up in time. No, no, Facho, no, man.
Dude's got the gold chain.
2 players alive. Damn.
Thomas coming in clutch Thomas right there. Honestly, clutch Thomas, and look at the glue walls. So many glue walls, just kind of blocking the very little space that was even available in these close quarters to fight here. And Thomas jumping down those stairs with that 360, able to seal the deal. And, well, they're going to be rewarded with a position as well, as the next circle did favor them just north of command post. But you have to also give it to Atomic, though. They sent it, right? They recognized, okay, there's a team in this building. Let's take it. And they almost had it, right? They almost had it. My only critique is, and you kind of point this out too, is that they sent one of their players up, and the other 3 players weren't there immediately, right?
Yeah.
So little timing, little mistiming there. So it was really a 1v4 and then a 3v4. I feel like if they would have timed it a little better, it would have been a straight up 4v4. But at the end of the day, Atomic, you got to give it to him for just trying to play proactive in the situation.
Nothing that can't be fixed later on. Small error did lead to their demise this time, but definitely can. I mean, you have so long. We've got weeks of gameplay to get that back in check, so all good for them. Interesting, we were talking about the zone last game, seeing that it was right on top of a refinery, a lovely place, obviously, to defend. But this time, all the way to the east, we've got Santa Catarina, Command Post, and Stone Ridge within the zone, but that is it. Which is a difficult place to defend. You got a lot of water in there, so lots of long-range engagements going to happen towards the end of the game. But this is definitely very different to that first game, where we had, Club 9D and Virus Gaming just protecting those big hard cover landmarks.
Yeah, I like this. I like Santa Catarina because I know there's a TDM mode, and that's one of the sections, the broken ship. There's a giant ship over there. Yeah. And one of my favorite landmarks here on this map. And oh, okay, I can see. I got the eye of the sky. Here we go. Tanka's going to be pulling up here to this giant scuttled ship. And I got my fingers crossed. I want the zone. I want to finish here. I want to end here. Because I feel like if it is on that ship, there's water that is surrounding that ship. And when you go in the water, it forces you to swim, right? So if TK can kind of take up that high ground and everybody has to go towards them, this could be looking like a really solid game for TK once again.
Yeah, they're making that bet. Obviously, I mean, with that being so empty, you've only got one team behind you in Big Trip. I don't know that, of course, but it's a lovely place to fortify because you've got so much long range. Nobody can get in close range. You can just hold this one down, and if the zone favors you towards endgame, that's going to be a lovely place to defend. Club 9D, they are betting towards Stone Ridge. You've got Virus Gaming over there as well. Command Post taken over by Pizarre Esports and Duel Kings. You can see, actually, I think there is an engagement happening now between Virus Gaming and Pizarre Esports, trying to take control of at least the west side of the map, as everybody is going to be starting to move in from the border of the zone.
Hey, Mustache Day, fingers crossed. Look at the next circle. Look at the
Oh,
next
yeah, there it
circle.
is.
Let's go, tank us. Let me get one more. Let me get one more up there to the north. But like you said, big drip all the way up there. They are going to have to reposition. So I'm really curious to see if they go towards that scuttled ship up there on the major landmarks, and if Tankas will be able to spot them out and pretty much just lay down the cover fire.
Yeah. Club 9D with a really good rotation here. I mean, I think they noticed that Virus Gaming jumped in towards Stone Ridge, making sure they couldn't go round to that west side of this next zone. They have to rotate all the way to the east, and they've actually done really well to take that high ground over there. That's like the difference in decision making. IT Official, they're getting involved in Pizarre Esports, and Pizarre Esports are actually stuck between a rock and a hard place, quite literally. IT Official on one side, and you got Virus Gaming down on the south, making sure you can't get on one side of the cover now. No cover to work with, actually, for Pizarre Esports. They're just trying to survive at this point. Only one player left once again. They've been completely crippled to the start of this.
Yeah.
1A also over to the north. That's a big line of death over there.
Yes, sir. A lot of teams going to be playing the edge, too, just trying to survive right here. Very challenging circle that all these teams are going to have to deal with. Like you said, though, IT across the way just peppering them down. I believe at least 3 of the teammates utilizing the M4A1. Solid AR, especially with that long range. Put a scope on that bad boy, and you're good to go. And I believe A1, 1A, recognizing that and trying to pop out some glue walls. But look at this. I mean, they're not in the circle. Not yet. And the terrain ahead of them, it's pretty bare.
I mean, we're moving in towards 4th zone here, and we've got so many teams still alive. 10 teams are still alive at this point. It's getting real close range, and this is where going in towards the middle of the zone is going to make things real difficult for you. And you can actually see OG and Pizarre Esports are right in towards the middle of it. Every team is going to be firing down on you. It's such a long-range map. And this new zone really doesn't have a lot of hard cover in it. It's going to be so difficult to stay away from teams, and that's what you can see here. IT Official getting kills from one side, but Duel Kings is in on the other side, trying to stop them from moving in. Now everybody is in this next zone, it looks like, and so little cover to work with. Just makes it so difficult to make rotations happen.
Yeah, not a lot to work with here. It's really going to come down to your aim and connecting these shots, right? Connecting these shots. Looks like IT, though, they're going to be a little proactive. They're going to be pushing out here, trying to pretty much sweep the edge and force 1A to stay out there, taking that damage. Next zone does pop. TK still in it right there on the edge. And big drip. They're going to be making their way through that ship. And there's going to be a nice little fight up there as well. A ton of fights here, Twiggy, happening all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, Tankers, it's going to be their first great divide between being able to hold this Santa Catarina here, sorry, and being able to lose it here. If they fend off Big Drip, they've got a lovely position to work with for this new zone, right on the edge of it. It's absolutely favorable for them. 1A Esports will finally be taken down by IT Official. Now the kill leaders with 6 kills. I think these early rotations for these for this next zone is going to be so important for teams now. Obviously,
Here we go.
Like the zone is so close here, everybody needs to get in real quick. Luckily, the teams who are in towards the middle of that last zone find themselves in a pretty favorable position to work with this next one.
Yeah, some flashbacks from my TDM games here on this on this section. It looks like both teams going to be taking their respected half of the broken ship, but I honestly like TK's. Okay, big drip. They're going to be pushing out here. TK, are they going to get sightlines on this? Like Team K going to be hunkering down just a little bit. Hopefully they don't miss this opportunity. Here we go, opening up the fight.
And Big Drip felt like they had to move away from this one, and that's cost them dearly. They move out. Tankers, they get those kills nicely. That's 2 down. 2 do manage to survive, get into some cover, but Tankers have a lovely position now. Nobody on either side of them except in front. You've got several teams, in front of you, several kills available. Now you can see the fights coming out from the other teams who have just moved in. The new zone is right on top of OG and Big Drip. Big Drip moving away has worked out for them, even if they did take a few kills here. Club 9D getting involved on Virus Gaming here across the way. They have to make these kills happen quickly, though. The new zone coming through, but oh my god, tankers! They fire down on top of Virus Gaming from long range. Get involved. They steal a lot of kills there.
Yeah, tankers, huge opportunity up there. Yes, that position no longer favoring the zone, but the high ground, like you said, they got vision on a lot of the enemies, and they need to take full advantage of that before being forced to push in right here. And talk about pushing in, 9D down here in the south, one of these teams trying to push into the town, trying to get into the hard cover. Before they do that, though, they need to clear out the second story. And OG, OP, Wipe Gang, see you later. As now we're down to just 3 teams to go.
Club 9D's positional awareness has been absolutely amazing this whole game. Making sure that, oh my god! Wiping out Big Trip with one shot from that grenade launcher there, and now it's a 4v4. Club 9D do have control of that zone, not a lot of cover to work with for tankers here. And it all comes down to this. One more fight.
Uh-oh.
Hiding behind a tree here, Tank. Getting
Grenade?
fired upon by the whole team. A lot of damage. Time Turner to get away from it. Just to get behind this last house that they have available. They only have one house to work with here. Oh, and Steve Gray moves in. Takes 1 kill onto Zutu. 1 down by the play zone here. Up top couldn't move in quick enough because of this new zone. But up top, finding more. Joan gets 1 kill. They get another. But Tankers, they're firing back. Only 1 player left alive, but gets more. No, Tankers are going to be taken down second again by Club 9D, who take their second booyah of the day, their second on Kalahari, their 5th of the group stage.
So close. Steph Gray right there, bolting through a window, had a P90 looking right at him. They didn't even care. They had a shotgun, blasted one, and then bolted right out the window to continue their mission right there. Talk about a drive-by. Oh, man, Steph Gray doing a great job. I did appreciate, though, how Tank was pushed up and realized, like, okay, I'm behind this tree. This spot is just not the spot. Popped the time turner and then pulled back. But by then, I feel like it was just a little too late because their teammates were getting flanked on from that left-hand side. So, close, second place. I believe that's the second game in a row, actually, that Tank has got second place, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So they're still racking up a ton of points here today on this map.
Yeah, that's going to be great for them. They took out so many teams on their way through on that one that they just did absolutely, massive for themselves overall. That's going to take them well up the leaderboard. But talking about leaderboard, Club 9D are going to be looking absolutely brilliant after that game. Their positional awareness, their ability to rotate quickly and before a danger presents itself leads them to so many favorable opportunities. Look at that, just through the wall. And I mean, being able to finish it off in the gunfights as well. You talk about positioning all you want, but Club 9D, when it comes to these gunfights, they just completely wipe.
Yeah, and not only that, they're showcasing their ability to have long-range gunfights, mid-range, and close-range. They got the complete package when it comes to the gunfights, and then also the complete package when it comes to rotations and just showing up in the late game every single game practically, right? And that was one of my questions about Club 9D, because yesterday we saw them, a team, they like to play the edge, and they casually just stroll up in the end game with 4 up, using their numbers to their advantage. And on the flip end of that, you had Pizarro Esports always getting involved with their team fights, and they had a massive amount of kill points. So I definitely feel like today, Club 9D being a little more aggressive, at least compared to yesterday, throughout the entirety of the match. And they are just reaping the rewards here so far.
Yeah, and you can see after game 4, Tankers not far behind Club 9D with 11 kills. They're going to bag themselves 20 points, get well into that one. Club 9D taking the lion's share with 24. Nobody really close to them. Virus Gaming with the closest amount of points, coming 6th, but with 7 kills. That's going to be beautiful for them. The top 5 teams, 3 of them don't even have kills. But what I really want to look at is the overall scores, because I think it's going to be incredibly close between Bizarre Esports and Club 9D in here. We look at them for the day. Club 9D only 4 points behind. I believe that puts them 1 point behind Bizarre Esports overall, including yesterday's points. So it's incredibly tight between these two. 2 booyahs for each of them. Wow. I mean, this is just the battle of titans here.
Yes, sir. And then Tankus, too. 2 back-to-back games, right? 2 back-to-back games. Going to be climbing up these leaderboards as well. Virus showing up. I know Virus was one of the teams that at the very beginning of tonight's show you mentioned to keep an eye on. And I'm happy that they are, not popping off insane, not getting those booyahs, but just maintaining. And that's important to note because this is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. It's not, hey, 2 days, whoever performs the best over 2 days, you make the next round. No, it's a marathon. There's going to be a lot of games for these teams to really pull through and try their best. And I think if you're a team just maintaining early on, that's a good start.
Yeah, it is important to note as well that Virus Gaming, they were known as Wasaka back in Season 1 last year. It wasn't for all of the, glory that, it was just for the prize pool. It wasn't just for getting into that grand final in Sentosa as well on that one. But, I mean, they were a late bloomer last season as well. They only made it to the LCQs. They didn't make it into the finals in the first try. It's worth noting once again that, only the top 8 teams do make it into the finals immediately. The rest go to a last chance qualifier, apart from the bottom 4 teams who'd fight it out for another place in that finals. They only made it to the LCQs. They finished second place, so a strong finish for them. And so far, they're looking, again, like a mid-table team. Maybe they can ease their way into the top 8, but so far, cruising along, they're doing incredibly well. Look at this. Average placement 5th, average kills 5, so really good for them. But again, just kind of cruising there.
I'd rather be cruising than bruising. So, because there's a couple teams at the bottom that I would say are bruising and having a tough go at things, right? And I also like to see Virus Gaming coming back here with a couple players from last season. So they'll be able to kind of use that knowledge, right? That knowledge that they were able to gain firsthand in the matches of competitive play and provide that support to their teammates and help them out a little bit. And yeah, these leaderboards I was talking about, bruising. Big Drip. This is day number 2 of Big Drip playing, and it seems like every time we see Big Drip, they are in the late game, but always kind of getting stuck in the middle of 2 big fights happening. So Big Drip, their strategy has just been to try to survive. It's been playing off a little bit in their favor, but no kills to go. That's why we see Big Drip so far there at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, you do put it in a great way in that they're always like kind of in the middle and they just kind of get taken advantage of by other teams. I do believe that is mostly just their positional players that kind of make their way into an awkward place and they're always just kind of on the edge zone and they walk into a team that takes advantage of them, and it's kind of just like we've seen them on the bottom of the leaderboard for 2 days straight now. I mean, they only got 24 points on the first day. They've only got 10 points so far today. They really need to pick up their game. You can only have so many chances, right? It is several weeks, but consistently coming up the bottom of the leaderboard is really going to start to add up towards the later weeks.
Yeah, it's still like that mental aspect too. Yes, we have a lot of games to work with. These teams definitely have the ability to bounce back and have a really solid day, but that mental aspect, right? Like if you're not performing the best, some teams, they might start pointing fingers at each other, blaming each other. You just don't want to go down that route. You got a lot of games ahead of you. Just focus on the bigger picture, and that is finishing top 8 to make it to grand finals here. So grand finals is where there's going to be a lot of cash money to be had as well. So, yep, let's get into it. 2 more games to go here.
Yeah. Once again, teams dropping about this time Purgatory. Back on our 3rd map here on the esports rotation. Big Drip, they want to get some kills on the board. They haven't done it so far, really. Just placement points today. They're going to be coming up on IT Official. Currently doing quite well for themselves. They are 3rd place in terms of Group A. Well, in terms of actually both groups in this one, at least very much, not today, but overall, doing well for themselves. So it's going to be a difficult team to come up against early game, and they did have control of this area before Big Drip got involved, so they are going to have better resources, I think.
Uh-oh. Talking about resources. OG out here. They're going to have to fight. They're going to have to fight against Club 9D, a team that is at the top. And CJ going to be popping in. Oh, but the time Turner just able to soak up a lot of that damage. And got Sauce pulling up right behind. But this is going to be early game. Sauce, not a lot of options when we're looking at weapons-wise. Oh, got a shotgun at that range. I don't know how much help that's going to do.
Brilliant timing from the whole Club 9D side, just popping out at the same time, making sure You're not getting any chance of getting both players down, so great attempts at trading, but they don't even need to trade. They've got 3 kills for, I mean, the cost of maybe 25 damage there. Oh, sorry, no, about 50 damage, sorry, 200 health, not 100. I mean, they can just run away with this one and already crippling the side of OG and finishing them off there as well, not letting anybody get away. Wipe up 4 kills. That's, I mean, it's already a good start. No matter what happens for the rest of the game, they can be pretty happy with this so far. I mean, it's tankers on the outside of this. You can see them at the north of the map that they do need to worry about next.
Yeah, so if tankers... Okay, yeah. So they do know.
Yeah,
they do know about Club 9D. And I was going to say, they could set up kind of a camp situation, right? A zone camp situation, because they are going to be up north on the opposite end of the water. And Club 9D, they're going to have to rotate here eventually. So, really curious if Tankas will opt to do that. The only downside is that Tankas, they're so kind of split up right now that if one of them gets taken out, you have to assume that that support is not going to be immediately there. And not only that, Zutu from Tankas is going for a really wide flank position all the way in the south, and we can see their position was compromised. So Tankas are kind of all over the place, where I feel like they definitely could have just gate kept Club 9D instead of going for this wide rotate.
Grace not ready for it, but it doesn't matter. Only took a little bit of damage, only 67 damage, or 57 damage, and just finishes off that one player there. Now, I mean, you said it best. I think Tankers, they had such a great position, but spread out so far means that if one player gets taken out, now the rest of the team is in a difficult place. White is stuck in this house here, only on 70 health, no healing available, being watched by one of the Tankers players, so kind of a hostage in this situation, going to take out the push to try and get out of there. Will it work? I think it's working. Getting away. But still, awkward position for him, and it's still making it work. Oh no, been found out, and a knock. That's going to be finished pretty easily as well. Nobody's near that, so Tankers get revenge. Avenge that player. There we go, Manix will finish that one off. 3v3 now. Oh, 3v2, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, at least we got the M60 out here. At least we got the M60. And while this was happening, PSE, done. So that's going to open it up. That's going to open up for Club 9D here once again. If they could just not die, right? If they die right now, they still have 3 up. But if they die right now, then it's going to keep it awfully close on the overall leaderboard between them and PSE. So we'll see.
Brilliant opportunity to pull away.
Yeah, it is. It is. So we'll see what they can do here.
Well, teams getting involved with each other once again now. Skullbreakers, again, driving into a team, and it's not going to work out for them this time. It's Atomic that they drive into. Not sure what the plan was there from Clubber. Taken down. IT Official getting involved as well. It will take down one player and actually kind of very much aid Skullbreakers. Atomic are now going to have to choose one team to fight here and push towards, because 2 players are down. They need to try and make any kind of positional advantage for themselves. Spraying down Skullbreakers, and they will actually take down those kills. Only 2 players alive, but they do manage to just completely take the position away from Skullbreakers and actually give themselves a better fighting position against IT Official by doing so.
Yeah, and we can see on the map, and not only that, through the window right there, the IT, they are definitely trying to close the gap, right? They're trying to take the fight. And it looks like Atomic recognizing that, going to be pulling off that one. So Atomic, they don't want that smoke. Not now, at least. And over here on the opposite end, 1A. Just using these trees for cover. And are we even surprised? 9D. 9D, just always in a fight, always in the action. 5 kills so far for him.
And not afraid to get involved whatsoever, although 2 knocked now. Once again, 1A, the bane of their existence. 1A not doing particularly well. 11 points today, really, really not getting on the board much whatsoever, but somehow they've managed to completely keep Club 9D from getting, you know, late games in one game for sure, but maybe even this game as well. They do manage to get one player back up, but, you know, awkward position. They're outside a zone, so with no cover to work with to get inside, 1A could really take advantage of this situation.
Oh, that taking some shotgun shots at that long a range. Interesting choice. Interesting choice right there. Looks like 1A, they're going to be firing those last shots and then saying, it's not worth it. Let's reposition. Let's go into the zone. Going to be using this bridge. Next circle did pop, and it is up there to the north, just north of campsite. Ski Lounge still going to be in it just a little bit right there on the edge. But Club 9D, they are sitting comfortable. Club 9D, they don't have as much to lose compared to 1A, right? If we're talking overall leaderboard. So I definitely do understand why 1A, they don't want to spend all their resources and all their time down here just to risk it for best case scenario, 4 kill points, right? Best case scenario. And if they lose, that's only 2 points for placements. So we see them avoiding that fight at all costs.
Yeah. I mean, they've done this before as well, like just kind of crippling Club 9D and then getting out of there. But Club 9D, interestingly, they have actually got that downed player up. White in zone, got rezzed and actually just jumped himself straight into campsite there. So they are a full team once again, and this time I think they might get out of zone without being engaged by a full squad like they were in Game 2. So getting into at least, the top 10 teams here quite happily. Tankers might be re-engaging with them here. I mean, you can see Manic moving in towards White. It'll be a 1v1 between them if they do see each other. That would be an interesting fight to try and take control. But Club 9D, the rest of the team is pulling up on that position, so maybe a little deterrent there.
Oh, does White have a weapon too? That's a... Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Okay, we do. Yeah, we do. So if this does happen and White comes out on top, it's going to be up to Tank to survive, as Tank is going to be deep outside of the zone right now, going for a wide rotate all the way from that west side to the north, I would assume, just full-on avoiding anybody at this point in time. And for a good cause, because they had 2 games, back-to-back second-place finishes that got them in placement points, 9 points alone. So there's no reason to call that off. And it looks like Tank actually going to go to one of those revive stations. So going to be able to get a teammate back up, and that's a big brain play.
Yeah. In the meantime, Manix had an opportunity to take down Club 9D here, but actually playing it really smart and just sitting in campsite at the edge of zone, making sure he doesn't engage. Now, he can wait for Club 9D to engage with Atomic, maybe, finish something off, get some kills on the board for himself here, while the rest of his team is being rezzed up, and Atomic are doing massive damage. 1 kill already, 2 kills already. Club 9D have the low ground. This is uncharacteristic from them. They've got caught out by the new zone, and White trying to just hold this tree down. He's the only player left. Oh, and that's going to be it. Club 9D taken out, 9th place. They do get on the board for placement points, but that's not going to be what they wanted out of this game at all.
Yeah, placement points, 9th place gets you 2, right? So that's kind of a good sign for these other teams when we're talking overall leaderboard, right?
Yeah.
Because PSE out, Club 9D now out. So there's 8 other teams right now that have the opportunity to really capitalize on this and try to get the booyah with a couple kill points underneath your belt to try to play catch up right now with those leaders in the lobby.
Yeah, I mean, IT Official, they're going to be a big one that really want to take advantage of this. They are the closest team in these 2 lobbies right now to the 2 leaders. Currently on 78 points. That is a little bit of maths. 70 points away from Club 9D. So quite a big gap. But they can start to take that back now. The top leaders for Club 9D, not Club 9D, for Group B are Tankers on 47 points so far, which is pretty good for 5 games. Or 4 games, sorry. So very good from them. And they can really start to make their first day really good. But right now it's Atomic who are fighting Dual Kings, trying to keep them away from each other. They're very grouped up tightly. 1 nade could do massive damage, but speaking of which, Ferkshow is taken down by a nade thrown at his way. And another one. Oh, what a well-placed nade. 3 players down now for Dual Kings, and in push Atomic to finish it off. Clean job.
Yeah, what do you do when there's a grenade just bouncing by your face? You know, it's it. It's a GG. On a side note, though, Tankers, they were able to get all 4 up. So they got the reset here, and let's see what they can do, because right now, Virus Gaming looking to make the push against Tankers after they just got everybody up. No!
That's gonna
Virus
hurt.
Gaming, I got to give it to Virus Gaming, though, because they're the only team in the lobby that they pop the vehicles and they just YOLO crash. They just send it onto your compound. They don't use glue walls. They use vehicles to close that gap. And that element of surprise has really been paying off in their favor with how quick they're able to get into a fight and finish the fight.
Yeah, they are right up there as well with Tankers in terms of points today. 44. They're right behind them. 3 points behind their closest rivals from Group B, which is massive for them. They can make it work really nicely, and they actually have control of the edge of zone now after crippling Tankers once again. Who, I mean, back down to one player, and up top, oh no. Please don't tell me up top has been spotted here by Big Trip. No! Oh!
Are they?
Good timing on the move. Got away alive, at the very least. Probably not for long, though. And you can see rotations now coming out from DN Esports, trying to take the south. There it is. Ouch. That's got to really hurt for Tankers after it's such a big comeback in terms of getting players alive. Back down again.
They tried, though. They tried. At one point, they were able to get the whole team back up right there, but Virus Gaming being so quick on their toes, taking them out. But IT pushing. Big Drip.
Oh, Virus Gaming getting involved as well through the windows. Actually manages to take one kill from IT officials' hands. I mean, that's going to be easy for IT. Big Drip down once again in a disappointing position. Only a couple kills on the board and only the placement of 6th. It's not going to be a lot of points. Probably 7, I think, is the amount of points they got this game. Again, I mean, more than they got in the last 2 games, but still really not enough to, stay anywhere near any of the other teams right now. It's got to be... The panic has got to start setting in at some point that you might not even get into LCQs after the first 2 days of performance here.
We'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell if they're able to correct these little micro mistakes, right? And see if they can make that comeback over here. But 5 more teams to... Oh, make that 4 more teams to go. Atomic with 16 kill points far. They still got the entirety of the team alive. I'm looking at Atomic's position. They're going to be down here in the south. They got their fingers crossed that favors them moving forward. This is looking like an Atomic game possibly here, just based off of numbers alone.
So, as well, they've got 2 more knocks down onto Virus Gaming, which leaves only 1 player alive in Yella.
Okay.
They're kind of stuck there now, and they're well away from the next zone. IT Official with the majority of control there, 1-8 right on the edge as well, but, I mean, look at this. Atomic are just firing down on top of Virus Gaming, who have got all players back up. But now they're in an awkward position, because they've got a long way to go. Oh, here come IT Official. They're starting to fire down on top of Atomic, who move in. But, oh, there's 1 down. 1 down for them already. Atomic tried to move in too quickly. Once again, it's just these micro mistakes that are going wrong for these mid-table teams.
I do appreciate how they left 1 in the back line, though, to continue to kind of rain down that fire onto Virus Gaming, to even give their squad mates ahead of them the opportunity to push into this new zone. So, do like the synergy and the teamwork right there, but this circle just didn't favor them, and Flo popping up with that max 7. Okay, we see you, Flo.
Now on to 18 kills is Atomic as a team here, and they do now have, after a good rotation, despite the loss of life, they do manage to get a nice position, but here comes Virus Gaming once again. IT Official finding 1 kill on top of them. Once again, they had a very good position earlier, so they can just kind of hold that as Virus Gaming have moved right into their territory. Only 1 player left alive once again. Actually, 2 players.
The grenade launcher.
Well separated.
We got the grenade launcher up close and personal, looking for some plays, and this is like best case scenario for Atomic over here. But Virus, the grenade, slaying. Not quite enough though.
I think we just had an absolutely amazing play from Grazero there, who actually took out the whole of Atomic while we were blinking. There we go. Can he get this done? It's a 1v2 now. 2 players down on IT Official. He's trying to hold his position. Nades fire down on top of him. Glue walls absolutely everywhere to work with. It's not going to work out for Grazero. After a brilliant play towards the end there, it is going to be IT Official that come away with their first booyah of the day.
Yeah, Sanjay at the end saying, hey, why get into this close-range shotgun battle? Let me pop out the shotgun or the grenade launcher. A huge counter to those glue walls, right? Especially late game. Coming out on top. But It was a challenge, though. We saw Atomic. They didn't have the zone. They tried to salvage what they could. They sent in a vehicle. We pointed out how they left one in the back lines to provide that cover fire. I liked it a lot. But Virus Gaming, they had the one-up on them. They had the sight lines on them. And they just weren't able to come out on top. So, IT Official, let's go. Yesterday, listen, Twiggy, yesterday they were consistent all evening long. And for them to get the booyah here right now, that is great, man. That's good. I like to see that.
Yeah, I mean, they did do... I mean, they're so consistent coming into these, you know, such mid-game players so far. And so far, I mean, they've gained, what, 46 points day 1, 52 points day 2. So very good performances, but nothing insane. But coming away with a win here, that's going to be massive for them. 20 points for them. Not as many as Atomic with 18 kill points, who managed to get 26 on the board. But that's massive for both of these teams. I mean, Atomic, again, they are very much, or they were kind of mid-performance in terms of Group B. They will now be on top of Group B for the day so far. I think actually Virus Gaming very close to them, though. But beautifully done from all of the top 3 teams, I think. Great rotations from all of them, and it was just, I feel like, not errors in their own play that led to Virus Gaming and Atomic not winning out in those, but kind of just everybody playing so well that it was difficult not to play so perfectly as to get through there.
Definitely a three-way standoff, but Atomic, can they even be mad with the third place finish, right?
Yeah.
Because we saw their points, 26. They got more points than the team IT that finished in first place, right? So if we're looking at points-wise, they definitely took the crown here on this match. So Atomic, after that game, okay, we see a little green indicator shooting up just a little bit. Ooh, look at that, though. Tied for points here, at least today's matches, with Virus, 59-59.
Yeah, well, the 2 top leaders for Group B there, they'll be doing great on that overall. But Tankers as well, managing to bag themselves a few points on that one, gets up to 53. Down trend from last game, but still managing to keep up with the Group B teammates there. Again, Big Trip staying low on that one. They got themselves a few points this game. I think actually that was 8. I said it was 7 earlier. I got it wrong. They are on 18 points now. They have actually been, I think, if we take a quick look at the overall leaderboards, I think they have been overtaken now by the teams today in Group B. There you go. You can see Tankers, Virus Gaming, and Atomic have all overtaken them on overall points after less than 1 day extra of games.
Yeah, not what you want to see if you are a big Drip fan. But last match was also pretty big, pretty huge for Club 9D, right? Because Bizarre Esports, they got 0 points that last game. And that 0 points really set them back just a little bit when we do look at the battle for first place. Club 9D able to shoot up here just a little bit. So with one more game to go, Bizarre Esports, are they going to clap back? Do they have an answer to possibly finish off day number 2 in first place here?
Yeah, it's really going to be difficult, especially with these Group B teams hot on their heels now. Maybe we can take a look at Atomic's overall team stats for that game, because that was absolutely amazing from them. There we go. We can see now. I mean, just look at those. I mean, everything well played. I mean, you can see so far, like, with the average place of 6, it's not like they've been consistently amazing, but they've just absolutely taken that game in their favor, and they're doing so well for themselves now.
Yeah, that last game was the game, right? At least from Atomic here, Atomic Esports so far tonight. That was their moment to shine, and they were just taking shots and getting into fights throughout the entirety of that match, and that's how we saw them finish with such a massive amount of kill points. And if that circle would have favored the west side versus the east side, which it did there towards the end, Atomic, without a doubt, would have walked away with the booyah. There's no doubt in my mind. It's just that circle, man. There's so much wide open terrain that they just couldn't close that without taking a lot of damage on their side here. So it happens. You know, these zones, they happen. Of course, the zones aren't your friend at the end of the day. But let's see. Can Atomic, can they repeat? Can they repeat that performance and finish off the day strong here?
Yeah, we're about to find out now. Going into our last game of the day, Game 6, once again on Purgatory. It's really going to be important for these, first off, these Group B teams to get right up as far as they can on these Group A teams, because this is their first, day of performance. It's really going to be important for them to get on the board, but also for these Group A teams to really just try and finish off their second day, because they're going to have, I think Group A are now going to have 2 or 3 days, of buys. They're not going to be playing for another 3 days, because they had that game yesterday, or that group of games yesterday, which is kind of a setback from almost the last game that we were supposed to have, because it was 1 day before everything else. So they're going to have 3 days of not playing. So they really need to get as many points as they can now, so they're still in contention for those kind of top 8 spots when they get back into it.
So what you're telling me is Club 9D and Bizarre Esports, they're going to watch their point lead kind of slip out of their grasp. Right now, the point lead between second and third, I think, is 50, if I did the math correct in my head. 50 points, which sounds like a lot. But the way you just put it, how Group A, they're going to sit out for 3 days?
Yeah.
At that 50-point lead, you have to assume. Unless everybody just totally throws, like that 50-point lead is going to be closed. So, great start, though. Great start for them. Oh, PSE, though. PSE, talking about great starts. PSE, with adding on to what you were just saying about how Group A are going to sit out for 3 days, PSE really can't afford to get 0 points right here against Atomic.
Yeah, absolutely. Atomic, one of the Group B teams. They've now had a day to 5 games, to kind of learn how they play. Oh, and there's 1 knock already. That's brilliant. Can they keep that up? Do they move in quickly? They do get the finish. 1 point already on the board for Bizarre Esports. Definitely not happy with their performance last game. They've already done better than that. Maybe Purgatory just isn't their favorite map, but this time they're really taking it by the horns and making sure they're doing at least somewhat well. Finish off the day well. I mean, Atomic, they're just running away from this one, and that's completely understandable, I think.
Running away with like a chicken with their head missing, because they are just out here in the open. We can see them kind of juking and jiving, running in circles. And after the last game with PSE getting 0 points, PSE are just tunnel vision right now. They are thirsty. Oh!
Ooh, wow.
Don't want that to happen. Let's see. West B, 2! West B taking down 2. This is massive. This is huge.
They're getting way too involved, getting ahead of themselves, I think. Oh, no. Well, that's 1 knock already. Still 1 player just got up there. Tomidios. Will they finish off the team before they take more casualties? They get 1 more knock onto Flow. Finish that one off as well. Only 1 player left for Atomic in Dax. But that's really unfortunate that they lost a player there. It was really really avoidable, sorry.
Wow. They defended that one. That's for sure. They defended that one. So Atomic's not done, though. They do still have that solo left up alive. Probably looking for those recall spots here on the map to get their team back in and at it. Up here, though, Tankas. Tankas had 2 really strong games here, back-to-back second-place finishes. Last game, not so hot here. They had a nice chance to gatekeep, in my opinion, Club 9D down there by Lumbermill, but they chose not to. Instead, they chose to go ultra aggressive. Didn't really pay off in their favor. But now Tanka is going to be trying to battle with Big Drip up there in the north. Oh, but over here, though. Calling in the reinforcements. Low. Not working out. That's a big move.
Yeah. One of the negatives about being in the middle of the air is that every team can see you from whatever angle they're on. You have no defense for yourself. Well, I mean, that's a nice capitalization on that one from Dion Esports, at least. They did need some points. They are the kind of the mid-runner for Group B here, so good for them to get that 1 kill at the very least. They're going to be moving up into Club 9D here, which is a fearsome opponent, and over the crest of the hill, gets involved, but going to have to put down the wall immediately, because you really don't want to get stuck in a 4v1 there. 1 player is able to come back to their aid, but Club 9D, they're going to capitalize off this real quick and move in. Try and take those kills down immediately. 1 knock. They'll be able to res that one, I think. The Esports coming around the side here. Well, great time turner placing. No! They will get the knock. And they're coming in, they're finding more. That's 3 knocks for them already. One to
Great.
finish. Club 9D are out in 12th.
Wow. Steph Gray kind of forced to clutch it out right there. And the swarm right there from the end. Just too much to handle. And, well, kind of like last game here, Twiggy. Kind of like last game here, we saw PSC, if you recall. They got taken out really early on. So that opened up the game for Club 9D, and now tables have turned. This game, Club 9D getting taken out. Let's see how PSC respond and try to reclaim that first place spot here on day number 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's really difficult now. It's going to allow them to get in, and they're so open in the map as well. They've got the whole of Brasilia to themselves. I think an airdrop coming down on top of them as well, so that's going to be very nice. Well, now everybody once again quite spread out. Only the first zone moving in towards that. Everybody's just trying to stay alive at this one, get themselves some points on the board no matter how. I mean, we've already got passive teams in teams like OG, and in teams, Club 9D were kind of an edge-playing team to begin with, but they're already out of this one. But yeah, that's how this is working now. DN getting involved some more. They've got a taste of blood, and now they're getting involved with Atomic.
I like that. I like how you put that right there. Because you have to assume, you know who you took out. You took out the top team in the lobby. You have to be feeling good. So let's see how that snowballs into this next fight here, because DK, oh, talk about being ultra aggressive. They're just pushing up this hill. They're looking to take the fight here. And DN running away, kind of tail between the legs almost. And getting shot in the back. I don't know about this. Do you run? They had the advantage, in my opinion. They had the high ground. DK were pushing up.
Yeah. I'm not sure they knew how close Duel Kings were there, because getting caught off guard there, that was completely avoidable now. They try and get further away, but, I mean, expending all their glue walls, and they're still not able to keep themselves on this one. They had such an advantage in high ground. They had all of the hard cover to themselves, and now they've gone into an open area where they're just getting fired upon by Duel Kings. They've given them a free kill. They were doing so well this game. I'm not sure what the idea is here, but the rotation is unnecessary. I feel like it's so early in this next zone.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they had the potential to kind of stand their ground and defend, right? That push up against DK instead of running away, kind of getting shot in the back there. Shot in the back there, and maybe the decision-making comes down to just how the pressure on the overall leaderboard might be applying to them in their decision-making and not wanting to risk it here this early on, because there's still 11 teams, right? If they get taken out here, yeah, they got those kill points, but 11th place is 0 placement points. So that might have been the reason why they decided not to risk it here this early on.
Yeah, either way. They were safe for now. They did get away just about, but with one casualty. Unfortunate. Skullbreakers looking to get involved. They haven't done that much yet. One of the lowest teams on Group A in terms of points, apart from Big Trip. So they get involved once again. Running in on 1A. Almost 2 knocks there. That is 2 knocks. Stay alive as well. That's brilliant. They'll be able to get some finishes, get some points on the board for themselves. They are one of these teams that are looking to be a mid-runner team. They really want to get on the board right now. But Big Trip are getting involved as well. They get 1 knock and 1 finish. That's 1 point for them. That's a brilliant nade! Just behind some cover. Manages to stay away from it. That was so close to being a finish. Not quite. Oh no! Clubber can't quite get the kill, but to his aid is Duro. There's 3 kills for him alone. Big Trip, though, they're getting involved. They're firing down on top of Skullbreakers, their closest rival here in Group A.
Yeah.
It's difficult for them now to hold this position.
Yeah, tough play, honestly, from SKB. They had a 2-2 split a moment ago. They had 2 of their squad mates taking the fight in the compound. Meanwhile, 2 of their teammates in the back line trying to defend up against Big Drip. And they actually beat the team ahead of them. But now let's see if they can get the double here. Big Drip looking to collapse.
This is the first kind of big performance we've seen from them in a team fight, where they're doing really well. Ramos is taken down, but hey, that is very clean from Big Trip, only taking 1 casualty. lovely from them. They get some lovely points on the board there, and actually take the whole kind of northeast sector, or northwest, sorry, sector of the map to themselves. That's going to be quite nice for them. An airdrop is actually coming in right on top of them too. They've got to be quite happy about that.
Heck yeah, that's what you like to see from Big Drip right there. The confidence in that play to make the push and finish what you started and get those kill points here early on in the match. About 10 minutes, that is exactly the type of play style that they be pretty much pulling in every single game. And talking about play style, the triple kill? We just got a triple kill.
I mean, yeah, once again, I mean, this is EN Esports, who was running away from Duel Kings here. The fight has come back to Duel Kings, and I called it a mistake earlier. I'm going to maintain that it was a mistake to run away at that point, but they've made it work. Only 2 knocks, they'll be able to get those 2 up, but they've done a lot of damage to Duel Kings.
Uh-oh. Was it a solo?
Hold on. Revive is coming out.
Know. Yeah, do they know that there's a Duel Kings member? Yep. Okay, they do. Spotted.
Oh, no.
Tagged and bagged right there.
Virus Gaming are getting involved now. Long range, they just took one down. All the way there. They're well north. They are so far away, and they're actually engaged in a fight with IT Official as well. They managed to get one finish onto the end now, and actually, that's really put them in an awkward position. That one kill, I think, has given Duel Kings the advantage here. DN are going to have to once again run away. That's really a mistake, leaving them, again, small mistakes that have just led to their downfall here.
Yeah, real scrappy fight out there on that east side, for sure. I mean, the trades going back and forth. And talk about the trades here. Virus Gaming, they set one up in the front lines, immediately spotted and taken out from IT. The cover fire, the crossfire from IT, all 4 team members of IT just fired upon that solo who was pushed ahead from Virus Gaming. And now Virus Gaming down to 2 in the back lines. They got the glue walls. They're trying to pop those glue walls and provide some cover. But IT, they're just working together as a team, as a unit to make sure to take out these glue walls. And Virus Gaming, they don't have many options here. They need to take the fight, and they need to win this fight.
Yeah, but wait, did we just see a triple kill with a sniper rifle on there from DN Esports in the middle of this fight? I'll come back to that later. Kamikron is moving in, has made a lot of position for himself. He is taken down in the end, though, by Beto. They move in, they'll finish off Virus Gaming. Can we talk about how DN Esports won that fight?
DN versus DK, they have just been fighting since the drop, right? Since the initial drop from the plane, and it looks like we have a clear winner. The zone says I don't care though who wins, because that solo all the way out there on that east side of the zone, of the edge, it's completely opposite from where they are. But Big Drip once again trying to third party a fight. We saw them third party SKB. Now they're trying to third party this IT fight, not allowing IT any time to heal up after that engagement against Virus.
Something has changed with Big Drip here. They are a different beast altogether. They get involved once again. Oh, Ramos knocked. I mean, they still got 2 players. Make that 1 player alive. Luffy needs to clutch this one up. It's not a difficult... Oh! Finished off. They got so well involved in that fight, but no finishes came out whatsoever. IT Official managed to get away with the win on that one. They could have got some more points on the board, but regardless, good performance there from Big Drip.
Yeah, definitely a different feel, right? To their playstyle here in this last match of the night. We saw them try to third party SKB. They timed it just right. They didn't allow SKB to really get any heals off at that last fight they took. And they tried to pretty much execute, rinse and repeat that same play here right there. Of course, we saw it didn't work out in their favor, but it was very close. And the fact that Big Drip are trying to play proactive now, instead of just turtling up and avoiding all the fights, they're already on the right track, in my opinion.
Yeah. We can see everybody getting involved with each other once again. Bizarre Esports trying to take back that lead over Club 9D as they get involved over towards the south of this new zone. 1 knocked in Adil here. They don't have a lot of cover to work with, but they're trying to make it work. IT Official up on the hill, getting fired down upon by both teams, and that will be them completely eliminated. Well, I mean, the 2 big contenders here, you've got to say, are Atomic and Bizarre Esports, who have a lot of cover themselves. No, Atomic, 1 player down now. But this is really where the fight starts. 4 teams left.
So it looks like Atomic, they didn't have the end game zone luck last game. But this game, look at that. They're up here on the high ground, the circle right on top of them. Let's see what they can do here.
Yeah, both of those.
They had a
last
massive
two.
game last game, too. 18 kills, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Last game. And look at PSE. To me, PSE are just sitting ducks down there.
Yeah.
They got the compound. They got the hard cover. Sure. But
Not for long.
not for long, exactly.
They're going to have to make a move, yeah. And I think we can see them starting to do that. The zone is going to start moving in quite quickly here. 1 second left on that one, and here we go. This is really where it matters here for Pizarro Esports. If they can make this move work out, it's going to be massive for them. Not only do they take that lead back, they stop Atomic from getting through.
Yeah,
They will take that
launcher.
first place. Oh, God, here we go. Blue walls are used. Give them a little bit of cover as they move up. It's really important that they get these right, but one nade is going to come down onto Teko's head. Another nade will find its way through. No knocks with that one, but they just keep them from moving forward at this point, and then they're stuck on the edge of the hill. They're in this next zone at the very least, but they still have no hard cover to work with. Domidios is taken down. They move round to the left, but nobody can get a good position. Time Turner committed as one is knocked by a nade here. It's all these long-range nade fights that come out, and they move in, but it's Pizarro Esports who come away with more kills, I feel like, here. This is going to be really difficult for them to defend. Adiel gets a knock with the nade onto Dax. It's now a 3v1. One to finish that. They will finish that kill. They move forward. It's not going to be too difficult here for... Oh no, Adiel is getting kills left, right, and center. It's a 1v1. Kills versus Adiel. Two players knocked on the side of Atomic, and I mean, you can't get anywhere near them. He sees his shoulder. It's Adiel. He doesn't know the positioning at the very least of kills. He will move around the corner, and he clutches it up. Atomic comes second, but Pizarro Esports, they will take first and get their booyah. Once again, their third of the day. What an incredible performance.
Adiel. Hats off. I don't have a hat on, but hats off to Adiel. Definitely clutching it out right there. Definitely clutching out for Pizarro Esports. And we can see, look at the wins here today. Look at the booyah wins here today. But Adiel with the shotgun at the end. Shotgun versus M60. Up close like that. Shotgun definitely coming out on top. But Atomic, what happened? What happened to Atomic? They had the high ground. I saw one of the players, there was a grenade that got lobbed at them, and they immediately hit the time turner and avoided that damage. But what happened with Atomic? I thought they had that booyah in the bag.
I mean, it was just such a great position from them, and they focused. I mean, it was great. From Pizarro Esports, they kind of split up, sent 2 round to the left side, 2 for a straight attack onto Atomic, and kind of, while Atomic were preoccupied with those 2 that were attacking them from straight down the hill, it allowed these 2 players to flank almost round the side and get a nice off angle on this last remaining players of Atomic, and somehow, even saying that like that, it should not have been possible, but they made it work.
Oh, I was looking at that one. I was like, did dude just parachute in and get that? No, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. DK, though, a lot of fights here. A lot of fights this game, and this is how it ended. DK kind of just getting zone kept right there by a solo. But
yeah,
I want to see this last fight. Like, yeah, this is
Here it is.
So Flo taking some shots right there.
Oh, God.
Adiel was just clutching it out, though. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Adiel, talk about clutch badge. This was Adiel's game to shine.
Yeah.
And they did just that. They stepped up to the plate.
I mean, we talk about, how the team kind of did a good strat by sending 2 people off to the side, but in the end, Adiel's 1v1 gunplay, managing to take down every player that got in front. It was a 3v1, essentially. Yeah. Managing to knock 2 and then just being just able to clutch it out. It's just this kind of staying cool, collected, being able to just enter a fight with this idea of not, I need to win this, but this kind of thing like, I'm going to win this. Came through, just got the kills, finished it off, and finished off the game with 12 kills from himself, 24 points. Massive. That's going to set them right at the top of the pack.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. Let's just be real. You don't see those clutch plays and moments every day. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy they were able to pop off here in the final. match. And talking about popping off, I still got to keep talking a little bit here. I know I touched on it a couple times here, but Big Trip, you also mentioned it. This last game for Big Trip, they were another team, right? They were just playing like a whole different team. They were being proactive. They were looking for the fights. They were taking the fights, and they got 6 kills because of that. That was a huge change up from, I want to say, the last, what did they play? The last 8 games, maybe, that they played, where they would just be looking for a solid compound in the zone, and they just kind of hide in it. They hide in it, they turtle up, they go for placement points. So I do appreciate how they tried to change it up here just a little bit, and talk about changing it up. Leaderboards, baby. Leaderboards, baby.
Yeah, they've managed to get ahead of 3 of the teams that they were playing against yesterday in R15 Official Navy Esports and ZRJ there. They've made that jump up with those 10 points from that game. So, they're now in 13th. It's not an amazing position to work with, but it is workable. I can definitely see them coming back from this one, at the very least now. We were talking kind of about earlier how we were worried about how they would come into this one after the 3 days they're going to miss, but I think this is definitely a workable position moving forward. They've still got a lot of weeks to play with, so they definitely can make that work.
Just do what you did this last game, and I'm not even worried for Big Trip. And talking about this last game, well, we saw Pizarre. They were in second place on the overall, but Club 9D got taken out extremely early. And just to go to show like how critical that is for teams fighting for that first place spot, because of that, Pizarre Esports now 17 points in first place. So, wow, they took full advantage of it. But we're looking at teams from Group B. Atomic, Twiggy, Atomic, they definitely took the spotlight from Group B.
Yeah, I mean, they really made that map their own. You can see now that they are ahead of 3, half of the board of Group A here, and I mean, they've only had 1 day of gameplay. Keep that in mind. Group A have had 2 days of gameplay. They have 3 teams lower than Atomic after 1 day extra, 6 games extra of games, and they're 10 points down at best over Atomic here. So Atomic have made a brilliant first day for themselves. They are actually, Group B, I think, are going to be not playing tomorrow, but playing the next 2 days after that. So that's a really good start for them.
Yeah, and you also talked about how Group A, they're going to be sitting out the next couple days, right? So if there was a team to look at that is not in Group A, that can definitely take that spot. I'm not only saying it because they're currently in 5th place, okay? I'm not saying it as a cop-out answer, but Atomic, just their play style, the plays that they're able to demonstrate here today, I can see them taking first place easily if they just continue doing what they do.
Yeah, actually, I can check right here. If we just take into account only every team who is on the leaderboard currently, their first day of gameplay, so Group A, Group C, Group B, on this one. So yesterday, Group A and Group C. So we can see already Group C, Fuego got 90 points. Brilliant for them. The closest one, 63 with Laonu. But Group A, yesterday, Pizarre Esports 78, Club 9D 81, and then Fuego, obviously, Group C, 90. So they
90.
would be currently second place. No, third, sorry, behind Club 9D in people's first day. So they are currently third on the leaderboard in terms of performance by day. So that's really good for them. 5th overall. They have a brilliant, workable position now.
Yeah, so teams to look out for pretty much just based off of the first 2 days. Atomic from Group B, Fuego from Group C, and then Club 9D, Bizarre, and even IT Official.
Yeah.
Right now, Group A are just dominating. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Group D, what they can do, because I believe in the esports report that we were playing before we got to the matches, there was mention of Team 999 to be one of these teams to look out for. So I'm really curious to see how these teams who have not played in day 1 or day 2, how they respond. Because you have to assume they've been watching their opponents this whole time. They've been coming up with plans on how to counter their opponents. So I feel like they really have an advantage to come in here with a lot of information on their mind. And I'm looking forward to see how they execute on that information.
Yeah, I mean, we're really not going to have a good kind of overview of how everybody's performing, overall until we do our first round of teams playing against each other, because there's going to be 2 rounds of that in teams playing against different groups. But so far, it's really looking exciting because there's some close teams. Obviously, Club 9D and Pizarro Official are running away with things, especially Pizarro Esports. They're doing so well with 95 points today. That's absolutely amazing. But, I mean, Fuego is up there. Atomic is up there. We're looking to have some real close battles. Again, top 8 will go straight to the finals later on. And then the next, what would it be? Next, it's down to 19th place. Oh, no, sorry, not 19th place. Yeah, no. Only 4 teams are going to be knocked out in this first phase of the group stage. Everybody before the finals players and after those knocked out players are going straight to the LCQs, which gives them one last chance, as the name implies, to get into that final stage. So it's not the end of the world if you don't get into the top 8, but it's going to be really advantageous for you to get into that final stage before having to compete in an even more kind of on the edge performance like LCQs.
6 games, done. We saw the overall leaderboards, done. Papa Twiggy, I think we are done, man. It was a great day hanging out with you all day. Shout out to all the viewers, all the fans cheering on their favorite team here today. We do it for you. But ladies and gentlemen, keep playing some Free Fire, and we'll see you tomorrow.